Mary? Mary?
Gotcha, bitch!
Hey, fuck you, bullshit. Falling!
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Wednesday, my dude, we bring you the latest in street news, talk about bullshit, horse shit, and what's going on at Shaun's bathroom. I'm one of your hosts, Dante Brett, alongside Shaun.
Come back here. Nobody runs away from the man. Not even Jesus.
We also have Alyssa Bruh.
Knock, knock. Is that delivery?
Then we also got Alec
Hey, Shaun.
Fuck you! And Jazz Supersize.
Want to hear my impression of a dog?
The whole gang is here.
Yeah, and it's just the two of us.
Well.
Okay, alright, we've done the third Ward parody in a row, and now in front of the man himself. I think I'll retire on that. After this foodcast. We've done everything we could. Alright, let's rewind to the actual intro, as usual. Welcome to the DarkAbridgerEX's podcast, where we talk a little about live shows, animes, movies, games, and answer some questions, do a little voice acting, improv, and keep you on dating what's going on. I'm your host, Dante, the DarkAbridgerEX's, and today's guest is, yes, I do it fast to throw you off. And today's guest is...
Me.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wardcast.
My God!
Wait, where am I? What?
Who are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Hello.
Today's Wednesday. It's not Saturday.
Or Monday.
Monday? Oh, right. Sorry. Monday.
Monday, you're breaking the 18th wall.
What happened to like the other?
We skipped those.
The other 14 walls.
They're not important enough. Okay.
Okay.
Gotta get to the good shit.
Alright, we skipped the other 14 walls, get straight to the good shit. Got it. Alright, Shaun, now most people know who you are, but let's reintroduce yourself from people who might not have heard about the Ward. Tell me about yourself. What's your involvement with me? What's your relationship with me? What do you do for a living? And how do I break into your bank? How do I get the money inside?
There's no money in there, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Fuck.
God, I guess we'll start with how we met. How did we meet? Jesus fuck. I have the worst memory in the world, so I can't remember what happened fucking yesterday, let alone years ago. But since you're the Dark Abridger, I'll just kind of give you the abridged version, and you can kind of clarify the details to the viewers, I guess, on what I missed. But I made a machinima by the name of Days of Our Lives, Resident Evil, using Resident Evil 4 as the vehicle. And then you found me by watching my videos many, many moons ago. After being a fan of my videos, Dante was inspired to do his own Resident Evil 4 machinima, or spood. And a few years ago, like I think 2-ish years ago, Dante made contact with yours truly. And the rest is what they call history. How'd I do? Is that close? Feel free to fill in the blanks.
No, you forgot to mention the part where you operate the vehicle and then you crashed it because you're Leon.
Wow.
Whoa.
But I used to drift.
I saw, and that also involved a vehicle crash. Whoa. Control-Shift-G.
Wow. Is the G for gun?
Yes.
I'm so smart.
It's really hard to hit my keyboard for the hotkeys because it's like you've seen where the keyboard is. It's fucking hard to reach. So
you make your life way more difficult than it needs to be.
Well, I don't have a professional recording studio yet, so.
Well, neither do I, but I don't deal with your fucked up recording situation.
We'll figure it out.
It's a nightmare. But also, I would be curious too to hear from your perspective, like kind of how that came about. Like, what's the story there? What drove you to seek me out, and what did that look like? How did you find me and all that?
Okay, so to flip the story on the other side. So a long, long time ago, I was a wee little thing watching YouTube videos like a fucking scrub. I don't exactly remember how I got to you, per se, because I know at the time, it was right before I actually started playing the games themselves, because I was still, like, the only M-rated game I ever played was, like, Constantine, the fucking movie adaptation of the video game.
Oh, no!
It's alright. It's actually, I find it more exciting than the movie, to be honest.
Ouch.
And Mortal Kombat. I think that was as far as my M-rated games go, and I was still too scared to touch survival horror and all that stuff. But I think I might have probably just gone around a few parodies and then I eventually found Jatori!
That fuck!
To find you, and, obviously I liked it, and years passed, and then I find Raccoon City Stories, and, around then I was already, there was another person who got me into, dubbing it, but, I think it was still, all improv and shit, still shitty-ass improv, and that was before I started doing my shitty Shaun impersonation. What? The fuck was that? It's a load of bullshit. Fucking Tetris. It was one of the funniest moments from back in the day when I was a wee little thing. So yeah, that went on for a bit, and as most people know, that shitty Spood days continued until 2010, and then I stopped. So when I came back to the game and I started doing better, I had a little more confidence to reach out to people and see if I can, get my name out there and have senpais notice me. And Shaun Senpai was the senpai that noticed me when I reached out, and it was really cool. I was freaking the fuck out, because we're talking about a Dante who was 11 or 12, and it took about 10 years plus later, and then boom, here we are. He ends up voicing fucking James in my Silent Hill 2 Spood, and we made a crossover between Leon's and Resident Evil 4 Spood. I'm fucking on drugs.
Full circle.
Full circle.
We did it.
Yeah.
We started from the bottom.
Now we're here. But don't try to. I don't have a stupid Drake pun. Never mind.
For the record, Drake is garbage. I just want to get that out there. No.
We're not gonna talk about this. That's just because we're not. Because I just get around with music. Period. So, anyways,
I don't even mean the music necessarily. Just the person.
Oh, well, okay. That's a whole nother can of worms. We're definitely not talking about that. I usually try not to think about the artist as a person versus their music.
What about you and me? What are we? What do we do?
We're the exception. We're the artists that also can be good person. At least I try.
What? Is that a stab at me, you fuck?
No. You're good. I'm just saying I'm the one who might be slipping up sometimes.
Oh, no.
I'm not perfect.
Be good, everybody. Be good.
As Tommy Wiseau once signed on my The Room poster, to Dante, be good.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
Why? How?
He was at WonderCon, and I bought the Room Blu-ray edition.
He goes to conventions? What? I don't know why that surprises me.
I thought he was a cosplayer, but it was the real guy, and I just fucking lost my shit. He even had, fucking football and underwear in there. MeUndies. He had MeUndies on there.
Jesus. Did he have the glasses and everything going on?
Yes. That's why I was like, is this a cosplayer? No, it's actually Tommy fucking Wiseau! Whoa! So yeah, I had to buy it then.
Yeah. I mean, if you were ever going to buy it, that would be the time.
Right. Alright, so now that we've gotten introductions definitely out of the way, guys, it is February. It's almost over. I was supposed to do the Spood last week before Valentine's Day so we can motivate y'all that if you didn't have a Valentine's Day, don't worry. Dude didn't have a Valentine's Day, but Kugoko for givers, really great. So, if you celebrate Single Awareness Day as Single Awareness Day, it's okay. Dude's there with you. You're never alone. Now February is almost over. It's almost March time. It's time to get your green on and drink a lot. And if you can't drink, well, that sucks.
If you can't drink, do it anyway. Just don't tell your parents.
Yes, just tell them that you're just drinking orange, and it has a very alcoholic taste to it. All right, that was the introduction for February. If February wasn't ending...
Thought we were talking about March.
We were segueing into that since it's nearly the end of the fucking month.
Oh, God, hell.
I try to do these in the middle of the month, but you know what happened. Anyways. I said, hey! What's going on? So Senpai.
Hello.
How has your 2020 been so far? Ouch!
Starting the year, I tried to go into 2020 having super positive attitude and, focus on doing better and being consistent and having these good goals. But I mean, a shift happened there. I won't really go into details, but, struggles, life things happen, hardships happen, kind of bring you down. And my year started pretty rough in that regard. But, I'm still trying to keep the positive vibes and just keep pushing forward. And I still want 2020 to be something that's, it's a positive year and that I do grow. And the negative things that have happened to me so far this year, I do want to take as motivation going forward to just, be better and just move forward and for certain people. Like, I don't want to really talk about what happened, but job stuff happened as well. Unfortunately, this week, just yesterday, I found out that my whole store is getting an increase. Like, it's like, surprise everybody gets like a $3 raise. And I'm like, oh shit, that's amazing. Turns out I didn't qualify for that because I worked for the company for so long. Because I'm already beyond the threshold. So like, I got a small increase, but not nearly what everybody else got. So I'm just like, wow. So basically you're punishing me for working for the company for so long. That's cool.
You're punishing me for loyalty?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's happening. It's super fucked up. But again, looking at the positive side, this will I'm going to talk to my manager and see if like, hey, like, I'm going to put all the cards on the table. Like, I've been here this long. This is where I'm at. I deserve an increase. If you're not willing to do that, basically I'm going to leave. So could be a good thing. Maybe it's time. I've been at this company for a really long time. Maybe this is the push that I needed to get the fuck out of this job that I don't like, and maybe I will find something that I actually enjoy. Or this will mean that they do accommodate me and I get a raise. So it's a negative thing and it really pissed me off, but at the end of the day, I think it's good for me because it'll either get me out of there or get me more money. Either of those things will help me in the long run.
Right.
So
You'll win either ways.
I'll take it. Exactly, yeah. So there's a positive piece to that, but just dealing with that kind of shit is super frustrating in the moment, and I just wanted to fucking murder somebody.
I know that feeling. That was kind of how I was feeling with Five Guys, before I quit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was either like the corrupted shit that was going on has to either fuck off or I leave to my new job. No matter what, I don't lose.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And now the little side note on that, one of the corrupted pieces of shit in there has gotten fired. So karma does find a way. The other guy, we'll get into there when I talk about my side of 2020, but continue.
But yeah, I mean, outside of those two things, it's been pretty much typical year, lots of work. I work fucking 10-hour days pretty much every day. So it makes it makes it hard to do the things that I'm passionate about. But again, if I get into a position where I'm making more money, maybe I can step back a little bit, have a little bit more free time to invest in that. But, I'm looking at ways to just kind of grow the Ward Productions and everything. That's my company or whatever, my website where I produce my videos. And that's what I want to focus on this year. And that's what I've been trying to do so far these past 2 months is just, build up content, be consistent.
Crunch.
I'm working on, basically. I mean, my whole life is crunch, man. I work too much at my job, and then I come home, and then I work on Ward shit, and I get not enough sleep, and, repeat the cycle day in and day out. So it's kind of brutal, but, hopefully in the end, it'll be worthwhile, and I'll get to where I want to be, and hopefully the Patreon will get going, and I can eventually quit my job and just focus on doing something that I enjoy and making content that other people enjoy, because I mean, I like making videos for me. It's fun. I like to laugh. I like to make myself laugh. I like to make others laugh. But at the end of the day, it's like, I make it for other people to consume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's my goal. Like, I want to get big enough so that I have a big enough audience to justify investing that time, right? Because that's the goal ultimately. And I think I can get there. It's just a matter of getting the time, committing to it, and just putting in the extra work. And it's just been hard these past couple months, but I'll get there.
And I believe in you. We both got like the same goal in mind, so
yeah,
we got this. We just gotta crunch,
Yeah, if the developers can do it, we can do it, right?
Right? But no delays. We won't delay it.
God. No. I mean, hey, we're both off to a good start.
Right.
I got Irrelevations out, well, thanks to Jazz mainly, but I've also completed another small machinima that's done and ready to upload. I'm almost done with episode 13, and then you got My Restless Nightmares out there. So, like, machinima-wise, we got the ball rolling. You know, it's a good start.
Yeah, we're bowling our balls, and we're getting some splits.
We got our balls.
Oh, fuck! We got our balls! Ah!
Got it!
Fuck. Balls will never be the same, guys. Don't forget that. Watch My Restless Nightmares, Dirty Little Sinners. You'll understand why.
Exactly. But the way I'm looking at it, too, is, like, get all the negative shit out at the beginning of the year. Hopefully, like, I've seen the worst of it, and it's just, you know, downhill from here. Things will get better as we go forward, so I believe. I got faith.
Yeah, that was kind of my 2019 as well. I had a shitty start, but then it rose up. So if I could do it, why can't you do it, senpai?
Exactly. It'll be a good year.
Anything else?
Nope, that's pretty much. I mean, again, we're only 2 months into the year, not a whole lot going far. So
I see.
But yeah, there you go. How about you? How is your year looking?
Well, since last Spoodcast, I mentioned that my cousin was gonna have an 18th birthday. And apparently there was no alcohols allowed, but little did they know, when my parents found out, they're like, what? They started grabbing a little flask, and they started getting a little bit of that alcohol in there, and then they gave me flask. I couldn't find my fucking flask, so Dad let me have one of his pocket ones. So we slipped in drinks. We were just drinking while the whole festival was going on. And apparently, Hypnotic is not a good drink to get drunk off of. It's like the weakest shot. See, I drank Hypnotic because it was the only one I didn't need like a fucking rinser for, but apparently that's because it's weak.
What is the point of having an alcohol-free party if everybody's just going to be bringing in a flask anyway?
It's because some people they need at least a little bit to wind down, to at least socialize. But I get it, it's a kid's party. We don't need kids mingling with the alcohol, but...
Is it though? I mean, 18, like, I understand you're not old enough to drink, but... kids party, I think there's a line there.
I don't know. Either way, it didn't even matter because I wasn't drunk enough. My parents probably got a little buzzed because they brought tequila, but that happened. I kept myself amused by playing around with my food. There was a cookie they had, and I took a bunch. They're like the ones you can make like the okay hand gesture with size cookies, you know. So I took a straw. They had boba there. They had fucking boba, of course, because it's my Filipino family we're talking right here. I put a cookie on the straw. And then I didn't. Wait, did I? I don't remember. I put another cookie on top of it. I remember that, and I was doing some balancing trick on it. And then I took the cookie that was on the straw, and I bit off of it, and then put it back on the straw. And I would keep doing this until the cookie fell out. I got 2 whole bites in. I ain't little kitty bites. So there's like a fucking less than sign if you make with your fingers left of the cookie, and then it fell out.
Sounds like somebody was bored as fuck.
Man, a guy needs amusement, and that was the amusement.
Clearly.
Until the dancing started, you know, they spent a lot of, I don't know why, they treated this like a quinceañera, which, you know, is when they do a lot of like special shit for, you know, the Latino side of my family when you turn 16, but for 18-year-old, and so there was a lot of like, you know, the girls, like, you know, main, I don't know, partners doing dancing, and then some speeches and some photos and shit. And then they got the music rolling, and I wasn't feeling it yet. There was still like the kids, like the fucking younger than 10 kids running around the dance floor, and I didn't want to hurt them by like busting out my moves. So I waited. And I waited, and then they cleared up, and then the right song came, and I started busting out my moves, and, you know, the other kids, I really did show them what was up, because they were just standing! They were standing doing the basic shit, like, they're moving their body a little bit, and then they do this little fucking foot cross thing or whatever, where they take their 2 feet, and then they jump and put them both in front of each other, and then back, and I'm like, weak! So
You just make it sound so extreme. Like I can't have any kids around when I dance. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
well, because I do some, big movements. I could have probably done some like hip hop videos with the moves I bust out. And if I got more,
Are you break dancing? What is happening?
the closest thing I can get to break dancing without break dancing, because then I'll break my neck. I still need to learn how to do the fucking floor spin thing. I really want to learn how to. Yeah, the windmill.
Like that's all I can think of, because it's like fucking you're afraid for the lives of children. So I'm just thinking like feet are flying around and shit. Like
I can't do the flying around stuff, but I know I do some breaker moves, as Diz might know, Zach might know, Kyodai, Voice-kun might know. But so there's a little bit of that. And then eventually the kids start noticing. Like they saw, once the more salsa stuff came on, they played stuff like, what was it? Fuck, what is that song? Anyways, I can't remember the name. That conga beat, or something like that. Fucking whatever. So I started busting that out, and then I'm like, whoa! And I was sweating, and I fucking, like, took off my button shirt, which showed my dragon golden shirt underneath. I'm like, ah!
Did you do the Macarena?
Yeah, that's because they played all the basic, like, party songs at one point. They did the Macarena, they did that fucking... That one, down, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing.
God,
yeah, that always happens.
The mandatory jams.
Yeah, they did the mandatory jams. And I wanted them to play Poison before I left, so then I could bust out, like, the really big, fast movements that go on beat, because I dance really fast at that. And the DJ fucking blew me off, so I was pissed. My parents were trying to leave, and I'm just like, fuck, okay, fine. So I was salty about that. School started again, and it's alright so far. I'm taking like this Asian history class, which is mainly about like Asian history in America. So I'm learning about like what was going on with all the Asians in America while they were immigrating there, and that's enlightening. It's nothing too new, but at the same time it isn't boring me like all the other history classes I was trying to take at my college were, cause fucking, I don't know, I don't like history, I can't care for it. But apparently I can when it comes to Asian history, even if it's in America. So I got that, and then next week is gonna start my English class. It's a late start, so it's gonna be a lot faster than the history class, so I just gotta buckle up and shit. I got all the books purchases, I got my semester purchased, and now I'm fucking broke at $5. I get paid tomorrow. That's the bright side. I had
up on ramen.
I had $1,200 last week. What happened?
Pay for your classes up front?
No, I didn't pay it up front. I played it online, but there's like a lot of, as I briefly mentioned to you, there was some shit I had to go fix up, right? I had to buy new external hard drives. They were going all crazy. I thought my graphics card was related to one of those expenses. Like, because I was starting to hear loud fan noises, and usually that last time I had a really loud fan noise, that was my graphics card reaching its lifespan. But I just found out that that's the external hard drives that I need to replace.
Yeah, they get loud.
So, yeah, a lot of
So you replaced it?
Not yet. I got the graphics card replaced, yes. Justified.
So you did have to replace your graphics card.
I didn't have to. I didn't know it. I didn't know it wasn't the graphics card. But at the bright side, I got a new graphics card, so it's more up to date. Because
I thought you said you didn't have to replace it. I'm very confused.
So I thought it was the fan noise coming from the graphics card, and I didn't confirm that fully, like not as thoroughly. Like it really sounded like it was coming from the computer. And then when I, installed it and all that shit, and I still heard the noise, I saw the real culprit was truly the external hard drives. So I played myself. But you replaced
the graphics card anyway?
Yes, because I'm not gonna return that. It's been 5 years since I got that graphics card, and it's gonna eventually get outdated. So, what am I to lose? Maybe if I could sell the older one, a 5-year-old graphics card.
Yeah, for like $3 maybe.
Fuck, the struggle.
If you're lucky.
So yeah, my school expenses and those expenses have left me broke. And then even brighter news, I gotta somehow get my financial aid going, because I might potentially get admission to the university that I'm applying to. I had a meeting with my counselor, and it turns out if I focus on creative writing, which makes sense that I want to do creative writing, given what I told you, like I want to write stories and shit after I'm done with all the other stuff, and do voice acting. I don't have to take these 2 English classes that we apparently put on my planned education in the summer, which is great, because that means I can get the summer off and either maybe work or get more Dr. Bridger stuff done within those few months. But if I fuck up, then I'm still stuck. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to make sure I get through the semester and then save up some money, because once I get to that university, I'm gonna need to make sure, I'm gonna really need to hope that FAFSA gives me some grants so I can get by, because that shit looked expensive. I saw online and it was like $1,400 or whatever. I got some money from my my some time ago deceased grandma, who, you know, gave me some money, and apparently that's not even gonna cover all the cost for 2 semesters. So I'm still grinding. And then I still have to take account for transportation. So Money and I really fucking hate it. We're struggling.
You don't get along with money?
I hate money. It's a necessary evil. We need it, but I hate it. Fuck you, money. Get fucked.
The worst.
So that's how I'm doing financially. Now, how am I gonna get by financially is gonna rely on my job. The server life I've been doing so far. It's been, you know, it was my first customer that I had was rough. I had a good first impression, and then I fucked it up by forgetting to punch in one of their orders, and then the kitchen was making lag, and, you know, I was really not providing the best first experience, and then a customer didn't like the way this brookie sundae tasted, and it was like, is this supposed to be hard? I was like, I don't know. The answer to most everything, I don't know. I'm new here. I'm fresh off the boat. Fuck, man.
Well, you gotta turn that around. Instead of being like, I don't know, you should be like, but I'll find out, or I will fix it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. But
there you go.
It's just now, since then, I've gotten a little better at that. I had to learn how to do roll-ups, which was terrible because...
Fruit what roll-ups?
Yes, fruit roll-ups. Didn't you already make that joke at me last time I texted you about
Did
that?
I?
You
God
probably did.
Well, it's for the podcast.
Of course. So, I'm supposed to take the fork and the knife, make them face the same way, put one end to the other, one end to the other, and then roll it up, right? That makes sense, right? But for some reason, someone showed me the knife and the fork going the other way, so I rolled it up like that. And by the time I finished the whole bucket, my manager's like, oh, Dante, these are loose as hell. You gotta tighten them up and make them look nice. Get it right, get it tight. So I do it all over again. I just take all the rolls and I tighten them. And then she's like, these are shit looking tight wraps. You gotta make them look nice too. Fuck! So I do it one more time. But this time I make the fork and the knife look in the same direction for the whole thing. I think I was there for like 2 hours rolling up silverware for one bin. And like by then it was closing time. I'm pretty sure I got cut at 10 and I left at 12. Fuck. So it was a roll up. I had a really first start, but it's gotten better. I've gotten the hang of like figuring out where everything is on the computer, because it's written one way and then like on the menu it says one thing and then the computer it's another. So like if you want to get like this drink called the Dangerous Waters Islands Punch, on the computer it's called Monster Danger. Yeah, it's completely fucking different. You think you look at D, you can find it alphabetically. D, Dangerous Waters Islands Punch, right? No, Monster Danger. Somehow there's a fucking monster in the fucking drink. Okay, so I've gotten the hang of that, and tips started increasing, and your boy be making some swag bucks out of that, and I'm thinking, if I had gotten the same amount of tips every day I work, I could probably be rolling in some real good-ass dough and probably overcome my financial crisis. But we'll see. We'll see. Super Bowl happened too. I experienced my first Super Bowl at there, and It was packed to the brim with 49ers fans and a few, whatever that other fucking team that one was. And it was really cool, like, because I could, I guess I was slightly empathetic. Like, I could feel their hype and it was making me happy. And then the fucking halftime show did you see that halftime show, Shaun?
No.
Oh, fuck. It was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira on stage together. They did like a half and half, and then they were together, and it was like, it was making me sweat. Like, Shakira did her song, like Her Hips Don't Lie, and all this other songs that she's done, and fucking, she was fire. She's like, what, in either 43 or 50? I don't remember which one's older, but they got the moves. Age is just a number. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. Like, I normally watch like the halftime show. I'm not a sports person at all. So,
yeah,
like,
me too.
Normally I watch the halftime show and I'll watch like the commercials because they tend to be good sometimes. But I don't know. I just never got around to it this year. I'll get there.
Yeah. So it was fire. A lot of our coworkers were more fixated on the TVs than getting customers' orders in, and I'm just like, I'm trying to do both. But when the halftime show came on, I was like, the Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez impacted me so much that I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get some of her albums into my my iTunes. Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Right. Well, because I'm always trying to increase my library of music. I really love music. So if I feel invested enough to go get the discography of an artist, I'll do it. Because if I listen to an artist, I'm not just listening to just their main hits or whatever. I listen to the artist. That's my shtick.
Is there a bunch of Drake on there?
Well, yeah. So there was that going on. I started bonding with my coworkers more. Like when I was working in the dish, they only knew me as the guy that was running around furiously, going, beep, beep, move, I'm getting dishes coming through, big guy, big cart. And really my reputation was just with the kitchen crew. For now, my reputation is growing with my coworkers, enough to where they invited me to go to this bar that I won't name, but it's like a diner bar they go to after work usually. People who used to be all up in my face be like, Dante, what the fuck you doing? Because now, Dante, can I have you? I'm just like, whoa, I gained your respect that easily? Whoa, it's fucking amazing. After the game, when everyone was so fucking disappointed, they were hanging out. I joined them, had some drinks, and did some karaoke with them. It was pretty cool. Like, fucking, I sang Green Day. I sang, what was it? Give Me a Novocaine. I was in a kind of a mellow mood. So I did that. There was some dancing going on too, because some of the guys up there did some rap songs, and I was like, moving there like, oh, Dante, go Dante. And there was like even a customer lady like grinding up on me, but this was after I was out of the uniform. So, everything was all good. I was getting drunk as fuck. I was drinking a lot of the Dangerous Waters Island Punch, my other recommendation, the Strawberry Watermelon Margarita. And then I had a few wines. I was getting really drunk. And then we decided to go to that after hours bar. So I got even more drunk. But then I was watching after somebody who was trying to text their ex-boyfriend, but they were also getting really drunk, where they were like dangerously confrontational. I'm just like, fuck. That's never good. Yep, nope. And then we go to Denny's and try to sober up, and I try to sober up too. But then, I eventually just go home, and I was at max drunk, like borderline yakking, and my stomach was getting so upset with me that I crawled to the bathroom ready to go, but I never did. And I thought, this was it. I'm gonna puke at some point. Come on, let's go. I never did. 6 o'clock comes down. My parents are coming down, and I'm like, what are you doing? I feel like shit. I need Pepto-Bismol. So they get me Pepto-Bismol, and I found out it's just my stomach was being a bitch, and I never needed to yak. And I crash in my bed, just like fucking wrecked, bro. That was the one time this year I've gotten this fucked up. And clearly I need to watch my fucking wines and not have those extra 3 drinks at the after hours bar.
Usually getting drunk on like beer or wine is the worst. Because it's just like the hangover, if you do get a hangover from those, is like way fucking worse for some reason. I think it's because it takes more liquid to get you to that place. So it just takes a I don't know, more of a toll on your body or whatever.
And I'm a lightweight, so...
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. So, there's all that.
I'm Irish, so I can handle my fucking...
Oh, are ya, mate? You got a little bit of Irish in you, eh? Pretty shitty Irish accent, but...
I didn't try because mine's terrible too. Even though I'm Irish, I don't have the accent, so...
Fuck.
I won't disappoint my people by attempting it.
Shit. Yeah, I didn't really get, like, I don't know, the hangover. Like, to me, the definition of a hangover is usually the headache. I don't know if that also includes, like, the burnout you feel.
Yeah, it's a combination of things.
Yeah, I never get the headaches in hangovers. I only had, like, a slight, like, I get a little dizzy when I got out of the bed and I drank a lot of water to, like, you know, get that out, get the dizziness out, or lightheadedness, whatever the fuck, whichever one it was. But I haven't gotten the headache, and I was thankful for that. And I took it really easy that Monday. I think I was trying to do more things than what I ended up doing, but I was just really just chilling the fuck out after that. But yeah, I think school was the very next day too, so got fucked.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I like to live dangerously.
Clearly. Or painfully.
Yeah. Speaking of Valentine's Day or Single Awareness Day, did you do anything special, Shaun?
No, I didn't do shit. I worked. I worked and I slept. That was my day.
For Single Awareness Day, my infamous friend Zach, which everyone knows from episode 2 or just in general, Zach has always gone out with me for Single Awareness Day for the past 3 years. The first time was at a gentleman's club. We're not doing that again because that got me broke. The second time we kept it more healthy. We watched like the fucking we watched the Happy Death Day. We watched the Happy Death Day 1, and then we watched the sequel, which was out at that time, and that was something.
How is the second one? I like the first one.
The first one's definitely better, because the second one kind of just feels like the pointless sequel that didn't need to happen, but it happened.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
So, but it was still like a fun experience in itself. It was just like, you know,
that's good.
Yeah, I was just adding on to more than whatever, like the already
so
existing.
It wasn't like a, oh god, why did I watch this kind of feeling afterwards?
No, not really.
That's good.
Yeah, it was just interesting how...
Because it should have been that, because that movie shouldn't exist. Like, it was a miracle the first one was as good as it was, and it still wasn't like amazing or anything.
Right.
So like, why did that need a sequel?
There's also like that other movie that's doing that sequel that I don't think should have happened. What was it? It was the Quiet Place, the one with the...
Yeah, I know. At least that has some potential. But yeah, that movie shouldn't exist. That movie, the first one did exactly what it needed to do. It told the story it needed to. There's no need for more.
Right.
But they're looking at all those money dollars, man. They're like, ooh.
Let's make a sequel. Fuck.
Yep.
A one-shot is a one-shot, guys. That's why I'm really trying to not make a sequel to Wonderful a Day Valentine's. It just...
The fuck is that?
Oh, I see you haven't heard of my my masterpiece creation called Wonderful a Day Valentine's. No wonder why that reference passed by you. Well, after this Spootcast, Shaun, I'll show you the greatest short I've ever made. 100%. 100% made by me. And you'll see that there are some gags from there that's lived on to this very day, but I digress. So this year, we watched the Sonic movie, and you know this because I told you briefly on the podcast, but it was good. It was decent. Like, it's a kid's movie, yes, but it was still at least an enjoyable kid's movie. Like Detective Pikachu enjoyable, just like fucking with better acting.
Ouch.
Yeah, there were just some weird awkward moments in Detective Pikachu acting, like.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and then, you know, Sonic accomplishes his goal of, like, you know, in the movie he's, you know, very cute and stuff, and you kind of like the guy, and you feel sad for the guy when things get sad and all that stuff. Like, it made me feel things. Like, I was not ready to, like, I was ready to come into the movie and riff on it, but I came out going, that was better than it deserved to be.
So, it was better than it deserved to be, but, like, where's it land? Was it good? Was it all right? Like, what?
I enjoyed it.
Is this something that you want to, like, watch again or buy, or was it? I need more.
It's a fun movie to watch Because as you might have seen maybe from the trailers, the whole premise is that Sonic has, his powers and he's trying to hide it, but then he slips up and people are coming after him. So, it's a little tale of that, but then also him trying to get home. Because in the trailer they showed him getting shot by a tranquilizer dart and he gets knocked out. But he drops his movie-exclusive power rings that help him teleport to other planets, and he's trying to get that back.
I mean, technically, it's kind of accurate to the games, because, if you got all the rings or whatever, at the end of the stage, you'd get a giant ring that would appear, and you would go through that, and technically it would teleport you to, a bonus area, so it teleported you to another area. So they probably took that and ran with it. So if you want to get technical, I guess it's canon or whatever.
Well, then, yeah. Well, I say they've done their homework to at least make a movie version out of it, is what I say. I'd say it's 100% better than any other video game movies I've seen so far. Resident Evil live action, House of the Dead live action, where they loosely base it on the material and then go wherever the fuck. They still it feels like it's still Sonic, but just changed a few elements and made its own cinematic, universe kind of thing. You know what I mean? It still works. Yeah. That's my shtick. That's what I say. That's
good. I'm happy that it's getting a good reception. It's hard for me to believe.
It's that shitty start they had with that ugly-ass looking Sonic, and I couldn't stop imagining every time I saw some scenes. Do you care for, an animation spoiler? Something they did? Okay, Sonic flossed. He motherfucking flossed. And I'm just imagining, what would that look like with the original shitty-looking Sonic? And I'm just like, ooh.
Does he dab too?
No, he does not dab. Thankfully, he stuck to flossing. But everything else was still pretty fun. So, I recommend to watch it at least. Give it a try. Give it a shot. And come back to me later, see how you feel about it. Yeah,
I probably won't go to see it in the theaters, but I'll check it out when it comes to whatever, Blu-ray or streaming or
6 months later or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
I don't have a burning need to go see it.
There's definitely some good Easter eggs waiting too for Sonic or Sega fans, because...
Well, you already told me the best one.
Yeah, the best one was the Sega logo that showed all the fucking... for the Spoodcasters. They showed, the Sega logo, and it's gonna be over on the internet, so if you haven't seen it now, go look it up. On the Sonic movie, they showed, all their games from, Jet Set Radio, and Yakuza 0 exclusively made the appearance, because you see Yakuza 0 Kiryu, I'm just like, whoo! Fucking fanboying over here. Whoo! That was that wonderful movie. Later on, Zach and I dropped by my work to get some drinks in and show people my new fucking leather coat that I bought with my tip money because I felt cocky. Now look at me.
Did you say tit money?
No, not...
I heard tit.
Tip. T-I-P.
Did they pay you at the stripper club? What?
Wait, hold on. That was 2 years ago. How?
I don't know.
You're hearing things, senpai.
You said tit, I swear.
Maybe that's what you want to hear.
Maybe. I don't know.
You want to hear that I got tit money.
Well, who wouldn't want tit money, right? It's two good things wrapped into one.
Well, I don't have any boobies, so it won't go anywhere.
Well, I wouldn't want them from your tits.
Wow. Ow.
No offense.
I feel so shot at.
Don't worry.
So yes, I got this leather coat. It's pretty... It's like a gothic, matrixy coat, and people really got DMC Dante vibes from it. I'm like, yes, I'm Dante squared. Ha ha.
Want to hear my impression of...
Wow, fail.
It's right above it. I gotta get rid of these. I don't need these sound clips anymore. I gotta get rid.
Wow, just deleting your friends. Okay.
Wait, hold on. All no, right. I still have this one.
I'm so angry that I'll take my frustration out on this rock hard dicks falling on my head.
You shit.
Now it's on both
keep
podcasts.
That one.
I just haven't found a reason to delete it yet.
Never forget.
Never forget. So, yeah, I came in with that leather coat and showed it off to people, and they're like, yeah. So then Zach and I also, with that coat on, we played Time Crisis 5. And
Were
apparently,
you doing like Matrix dodges and shit while you were playing?
I was actually going gunslinger on it, so I would take my gun and then, put it behind my back and shoot from there. And I was just like, yeah, I couldn't do Dante's one thing where he like shoots from like over his shoulder, like he points the gun over his shoulder backwards and shoots, because my body doesn't bend that way. With the gun like being cable attached, you can only go so far. But I was definitely going wild with that, and we got our name in the high scores. On my screen, we got 6th place for co-op, and for his screen, he got 2nd. I don't fucking know why. I thought these things were in sync, but I guess not.
Yeah, clearly not.
On the top of 1st place wasn't us, but blank. Like, no one put any name. There's like the whole fucking, I don't know if it's like a culture thing outside of the anime show, No Game, No Life. But, there was like this duo who would always name themselves blank. They were pretty unstoppable. They were like the fucking beast. And they got the 1st place. I'm just like, fuck. It was pretty cool. It was a fun experience. That was really my Valentine's Day. And, yeah. That's kind of been everything that's happened since last Spoodcast. A lot happens in my life. Everything's a story. I can write a story about my life, but I don't want to.
I mean, you kind of did right here on the podcast.
I speak it out loud.
Yeah. You spoke wrote.
I spoke wrote. All right, so now that we've talked about what's happened in the month, let's talk about some media. Let's talk about some shows, animes, or movies. Movies.
What are those?
I don't know. Just put them on TV or computer and just watch away. We've already talked about the Sonic movie, which was in my notes, so I guess I'll skip that one out, but let's talk about Shaun's first. Have you watched any movies, shows, or animes that you want to highlight so far this year within today? Bajingle.
I kind of watched all those things. I saw The Joker, saw Terminator Dark Fate, saw Dr. Sleep, and I saw the Daredevil show. All of those were pretty good. Terminator was not bad, worth watching, but
Right, because it feels like, we discussed this on your podcast, but it kind of just feels like it's Terminator 2, but with like a gender swap basically, and slight alterations to some things.
Yeah, and it feels forced, like we talked about before. It's just like, put women in it, because women.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
If you're gonna make a sequel, just make a sequel, but don't try to like send a message at the same time. I don't know.
That's the thing that bothers me. It's not even really the subject matter. It's the principle that you're just trying to force in some fucking message or agenda that you're trying to push on people. Don't do that shit. Like, keep that shit outside of media. Media is an escape. Let us enjoy it as entertainment. We don't want the agendas and the bullshit. Keep it away from that.
It's not saying that we don't want it. It's just that we prefer, like, if it felt like it was a natural done thing.
Yeah, if it felt normal, then great, But it's almost insulting because, like, mild spoilers, if anybody even gives a shit.
They killed off John Connor.
Yeah, in the first 2 seconds of the movie, they kill off the male character that's been like the driving force across all the old Terminator movie, all the old Terminator movies that we've all come to love and whatever. They just totally fucking erased all that, killed that main lead character, and then just replaced all those characters that we knew before with women. It seemed like really in your face, like, fuck you men, women. Like, that's what it felt like, and that's just not cool. And it's the same thing if you were to do the opposite, to like replacing females with males. Like, just don't do that kind of shit. It's gross, and it doesn't need to happen. Anyways, we're not going to derail on that.
No.
But yeah, Terminator, it's worth watching. So it's like you were on the fence whether you wanted to see it or not. I feel like it's worth actually watching it. Joker was really, really good. Dr. Sleep was really surprising. That was a sequel to The Shining. So if you like that movie and you wanted a sequel, well, fucking 15, 20 years later, you got one. And it's actually really good.
You didn't fall asleep to Dr. Sleep?
Oh, nope. It wasn't Ready Player One, which I did fall asleep in.
Oh, shit.
Though it wasn't I rewatched Ready Player One later, and it wasn't bad as I remember. It's very slow and kind of boring until the end, but yeah, it's not something you want to watch when you're tired because you will fall asleep.
Right.
But and then yeah, just Daredevil, the Marvel TV show. That's really good.
The better one.
Season 1. Yeah, probably the best season. But I heard the Punisher season is the best season, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really speak to that.
Right. I don't really often watch like superhero TV shows, so I wouldn't know
There's so
too deep.
many.
There's so many. So I hear.
They're good though. They're good. A lot of people shit on them, but if you're into comics and you like those characters, or a lot of them are actually pretty good. I really like the DC ones, like the Supergirl and Arrow and all. Arrow went to shit though, by the way.
Oh,
that's another
no.
thing. I just remembered. I finished the end of season, I think 8 is the final season, and wow, the first half of that season was really good. And then the back end, like after they did that crossover event where they had like all the shows do this 5-part like collaboration event,
Like
which
the
also
Earth
started
Crisis?
Yeah, and Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first 3 episodes of the 5 series run or whatever were really good, and then it just the last 2 were garbage. And the same thing happened to Arrow. It's like they didn't know how to end it, so they just did this random crappy filler garbage that just didn't even need to exist.
Oh, so they didn't Game of Thrones it? They just slid off the hill and
Close.
Oh, close.
Not as bad, but pretty close.
Wow.
But and then as far as anime goes, for whatever reason, I decided to throw on Gantz.
Oh,
like,
shit.
I just got a wild hair up my ass to watch that. I only watched like a couple episodes of it, and like I have the whole collection on DVD. I don't think they have it on Blu-ray, but it was interesting because I grabbed the disc 1 and I put it in my Xbox, and there's 2 episodes on a disc. 2.
And they're regular length episodes, right? Like 20
Yeah, they're
minutes.
like 20.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And that made me think. I'm like, okay, well, thinking back, when I bought this shit, those DVDs were $25 a piece for 2 fucking episodes.
Wow.
And then that got me thinking even further. Like, I remember, like, back in that era, when you were to buy, like, a whole season of anime on DVD, it was like $150. And that's not for like some like collector's edition box set. That's just for 25 episodes of an anime.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? It's crazy how far we've come. Like when things become more mainstream and I guess, you know, they're moving more of it in a quicker capacity. I guess they can justify dropping the price point, but it's like, holy shit. I can't believe there was a time where I spent $25 for 2 episodes of anime.
At least
Nuts.
a movie would have been acceptable, but we don't.
Like a movie's what, an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe
Yeah.
longer. Fucking 2 episodes, you're not even getting an hour of content.
It's just 40 minutes, $25.
Yeah, less than that because there's also the opening and the closing. You're talking like what, 18, 19 minutes of content per episode?
Well,
Like,
it's
wow.
usually actually most anime episodes are 23 minutes. That is with the intro and outro, and they tend to last in a minute and 30 seconds. So it's generally about 20 minutes. Yeah. So
still 40 minutes of content.
40 minutes, $25.
Not good. Yeah, not good. No bueno. But I think that's all that I watched. How about you?
Besides the Sonic movie, 2 other highlights from what I've been watching was Big Mouth on Netflix.
How is that?
I had a coworker who introduced me to it, and I watched it, and I immediately, like, I can't really state what the premise is, because it's kind of just, generally, it's about, you know, teenagers going through, like, their changes kind of thing, which is something I relate to. One of the main characters, Andrew, voiced by good old John Mulaney, which is one of the things that got me invested in the show, was just to hear more John Mulaney doing voice acting, has, like, a hormone monster, which is named Murray or something like that, and he's like his little voice of temptation. He's like, hey, oh, I love that fallopian tube. Tells exactly how it is. Oh, it gets me all turned on. And it's kind of stuff like that. I'm just like, I have like, you know, my little devils on my shoulders, and I was like, wow, this looks like them on screen. Look at that. I like this.
This is my life story.
I generally like the show just because of the premise of like, I can relate. There was even like some dumb moments. Like it felt like a comedy for sex ed or whatever. I don't really know. Like it's mixed. there's a lot of sex in it. It's a really sex joke oriented show, and honestly, I don't recommend it to people who can get too, critical or political or serious about these kind of topics. And then eventually it does start going into that territory, like it tackles some of those stuff, and I'm kind of, I get uncomfortable when that stuff is kind of being tackled in a show. So there were times when those episodes came around that I was just really not there for it, but I was going to watch it anyways, because that's what I was going to do, no matter what.
Were they pushing agendas?
It sounded like they were pushing agendas or slamming agendas. It was a mix. It depends. I don't know. I can't really say.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of more or less the same thing.
Yeah. So, there were still some good parts in, everything after Season 1, but the Season 1 was really, the beginning, the growth, and that was the more relatable halves, and then later on in the season, they start developing more on characters and stuff like that. There's continuity. It's not fucking, new world, new episode every day kind of series. There's only 3 seasons out so far anyways. And on a really sad note, shit. The main theme song they use is Changes, which was used which in the intro, it sounds sexual because he's like, I'm going through changes, which you could interpret it sexually, but then you listen to the actual song, and it's like he's, people are coming out of his life. He lost a friend, they had a fight or whatever, and I'm just like, oh fuck. So, yeah, it kind of hit me in the feels territory by the end of that for that reason. So I don't know if they're gonna really plan on a season 4, but it really looks like that could have been it. But I don't know, man. It's a mixed feelings show. It all depends on who wants to see it, or whether they have the audacity to get through some of those meh things. Otherwise, I enjoyed what I was watching. I like the whole meta things. They make everything alive. The fucking hormone monsters, they're real in the person's head, but they can still interact with things, and they're doing crazy shit out there in the world. Or there's talking pillows or talking everything. Things that talk shouldn't be talking. I don't know. It's a cartoon, and I try not to think too much about it. That's that. For a movie, I saw Jennifer Aniston on
the movie.
No, I saw Jennifer Aniston on this thing. I think I was looking for another movie. It was called The Waiter or something like that, or Waiting. It was supposed to have Ryan Reynolds in it or something, and talk about server life. But that wasn't on Netflix. Instead, I find this one called The Bounty Hunter, featuring Jennifer Aniston and some other dude, and it's about this guy who the husband, I think he had a really feminine sounding name. I don't remember at the top of my head. But anyways, so the guy was with the wife, and then they broke up because shit just went crazy. And then turns out the guy, I guess he was a former cop or something like that, and now he's he hunts bounties and shit. And the girl goes into news reporting, but she gets into a little accident, and now she's supposed to show up to court for bail, but she doesn't. So now she's got a bounty on her head, and who has to hunt her down but her husband?
Oh.
So it's this semi-romantic comedy about the husband chasing after his wife for the bounty, while other shit goes on in the background that alludes to something minorly going big. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a really short, quick movie, an hour and 30 minutes or whatever, not even 2 hours of a little cat and mouse and some character developments here and there. But yeah, it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but if you want to go watch Jennifer Aniston's career post Friends, jazz. There's The Bounty Hunter. Ta-da!
Get your Netflix tickets today.
What?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Where is it? What? All right. So we tackled movies, we tackled shows, we talked about anime.
Wait, you didn't watch any anime?
Oh, okay. Listen here. I have been out of touch with anime lately. Oh, wait. No. I already talked about that last Wardcast. Never mind. Yeah, no, I haven't really watched a lot of anime. I need to find a way to, access anime outside of, my usual channels, because most of everything I watch is on my iPod now these days. So if I can't find it there, I'm out of touch.
I'm guilty of watching shit on my phone as well, but This is part of the fucking problem with the way that we watch media. I'm sorry, but you cannot enjoy a movie or a game as much as you can on a TV when you're watching it on like a tiny little fucking screen, especially when you're not home and there's like shit going on around you and you have to be semi-aware of your environment and shit like that.
Oh, I definitely don't do it out there.
Depending on the movie, like there's some throwaway movies or whatever that you can, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But like if you're watching a good movie, like somebody recommends a good movie to you that actually has some depth or something, and you watch it on your phone, like when you're out in the world, like you pretty much just killed that experience for yourself.
Right.
And that's how a lot of people consume media these days, and it sucks. It sucks ass. I hate today. I got my complaining out.
Oh, wow. Hey,
I had to do it.
He couldn't hold it back. He couldn't wait for the Wardcast. He had to do it on the Spoodcast.
No, I got like 4 more days until I can vent. I couldn't. No.
Okay. For me, in my case, I usually just watch it when I'm like leaving my room and I go downstairs to eat, or that's usually what's happening. I'm out of my room.
You're on the bus too, right?
No.
You take the bus. Oh no.
I Uber to work.
But same thing more or less.
I don't watch it on there either.
So you have like downtime where you can just like look at your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to kill time, so you got to find something to fill that space.
I only really watch all my media when I'm home. I don't try to rely on my hotspot or my phone.
Good.
So I don't do all those things that's, doing it outside. I like to do it at home, usually when watching dinner, when eating. I'm going to watch
when you're watching dinner and eating a movie?
Yeah, you're watching dinner, eating a movie. Wouldn't be my first time. I forgot to mention.
That movie was delicious.
I forgot to mention this, but we have to fill in this paperwork if we want to get meals at the job. There's like employee name and then the food item. And I keep putting the food item in the employee name. So, hi, I'm mac and cheese with milk, and I'm about to eat Dante for 50% off. Fuck.
What the hell is the purpose of having to fill out documentation to eat food?
Inventory.
What?
I think it's for inventory purposes. I don't know, man. But that's what we have to do. It's like it's a mini piece of paper. It's really small. Yeah, so I usually just watch it while eating food. And then when I wash the dishes, I have it planted up there. So, I'm doing both. So it's like I'm there, and it's usually at the expense of being at home. Because sometimes I could take an hour to get back to my room. So why not spend an hour watching some shows or some movies and shit? But I need to get an access for anime because I'm missing that. I think the only real struggle would be that I'm gonna watch it with subtitles, so there's gonna be some focus needed. I think I want to invest in an iPad eventually some point, and that'll just be the media way to consume it or whatever. But we'll see.
God, I couldn't imagine watching something with subtitles on my phone. Ugh.
I've been able to do it, but if I could get a bigger screen, that would be better. Anyways, let's segue back into the more finer parts of our lives and talk about video games.
Would you say that it's the days of our lives?
You're fired.
Oh, bye.
All right, senpai. I know you've played a lot of games. What's
Did I though?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't play a lot of games. I played a lot of a couple games.
The same games.
There, exactly. Yes. Lots of gaming, but not a lot of games. There we go.
Right.
And it's all been, I guess it's just been one game, really. I've just been playing fucking Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 because I platinumed all 3. On the last podcast, I talked about platinuming Uncharted and Uncharted 2, and that I was halfway through 3, but now I've completed 3. So all the Uncharted games are done. Got those platinums. So Alec, Jazz, and I have this game going on, I guess, this competition where we're seeing who can get to 20 platinums first. So I think that puts me in the lead with 3. Alec might be at 3 as well, I'm not sure. But I was looking at my trophies, and I beat the remastered Uncharted, so Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 remastered collection. So I also have the first 2 Uncharted games on PS3, and they're like almost complete, so I can go back and cheese it.
Whoa!
So I'm gonna go complete those, and I will have 5 Uncharted games platinum.
That is dirty. That is.
Fuck that. Hey,
wait, hold
look,
on. Wait, no, hold the fucking phone. Did you tell Diz that she can't play Resident Evil 4 again on different consoles and that doesn't count as, beating a game?
That's different because...
How?
Because a game that you can run through real quick, but anytime you're going to platinum a game, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 400 times, it still takes a hell of a lot of time and effort.
Alright, I'll let you have this one. You've sold your argument. It's still cheesing, but I'll let you have it. Mildly cheese?
Compared to fucking Alec, shots fired, fucking... He's playing shit like My Name is Mayo, where literally you get all the trophies in that game for clicking a thing. That's all you do. You click, I think you click 1,000 or 10,000 times or whatever, and then you've platinumed that game.
Wow.
And then his second game was another downloadable game that, I've never even heard of. So, fuck off. He's cheesing it too. I can cheese it a little bit.
Man, everyone's gonna get so much cheese. I hope you guys aren't lactose intolerant.
I think Jazz is the only one that's legitimately... Well, no, even me. Fuck that. The ones I'm getting are legitimate. You can kiss my ass. I'm working hard for my trophies.
Jeez.
I spent days of my time...
You mean days of your lives? Oops.
Wow.
I held.
Going up.
Yep. Second floor. Hello.
Yeah, that's it. Lots of Uncharted. Things that I got that I haven't played yet. I did get my Yakuza collection.
Good.
And I got my Bayonetta Vanquish collection.
Good.
So I will be playing those at some point. I'll probably play Bayonetta and Vanquish first, just because I could probably go through those quicker. And we've talked about my Yakuza problem and how much of an ordeal that's going to be, and the fact that I have to start at 1 and work my way up to the current. So I have a long journey ahead of me when it comes to Yakuza, so that collection probably won't get touched for a little while.
I mean, it did take me probably a total of 90 hours to get through Yakuza 4. Because...
Jesus.
Which I'll touch back on my report. But, yeah, so that's me also doing everything. That's not just me rushing through the main story. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I would have shaved off way more hours on that.
But that's the problem. When you play Yakuza, you've got to do the side shit. Otherwise, why even play it?
Yeah.
All the good shit. Well, I mean, the story's good too, but the real reason you're playing Yakuza is the stupid bullshit side missions and whatnot. That's the real entertainment. We all know that.
Right, when you come back, especially if you played the game before, you can't just rush through the main story even if you know what happens. It's just...
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I want, for each one of those games, I want to do all the side shit. I want to get the Platinum Trophy. And that's going to be what? Fucking 80 to 90 plus hours per title? goddamn, man. I wish I had that time.
Are you sure you made the right decision in trying to get in the the original Yakuza 1 and 2 HD Japanese only in your plan? Because that seemed really it really just feels like you're going through the motions if you're just having to consult through a guide to get your translation because everything's in Japanese.
Kind of, but at the same time, I'm going through the game, I'm getting the trophies, and I'm completing that version of it. And it's also setting me up for, putting me in the right place when I play the
remastered
Kiwamis.
Right.
I can appreciate them better, because a lot of that's scene for scene remakes and stuff. And it's been a long time since I played those. So, I want to see those scenes again before I go into those so that I can appreciate the updates.
Right.
So it's giving me that. Plus, I can get the trophies.
Right.
Plus another game in my collection that I'll have completed. So it's there's multiple levels to going through it. And I am recording it as I go through. So I might make content out of that. It just kind of depends. So I could get a lot out of it. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
It's a complicated thing.
Right. And I can see where you're coming from since you went through the original 2 before I did. Whereas I came in through 0, Kiwami 1, and Kiwami 2. I'm doing the reverse of seeing how it was back in the day to see this is how it operated, and that's pretty cool to see how it was. For me, I think it's cool to go backwards and then see what the original struggle was like and see, knowing what they did afterwards, with some of the changes or whatever, or how they expanded on some stuff. For example, the gangbusters from Yakuza 1, do you remember that? It was easy to miss a lot of side content in the Yakuza days before Zero, because you couldn't find sub-stories or missions. That's what they were called back in the day. Like, like on the map, you just had to run into the right place and hope you made it.
Yeah, on the first two, I did what I could find. Like, I didn't go through either of them with a guide, so I know I missed a lot. And that's another reason why I want to go through to see all the shit that I missed too.
Right, because that's a lot of. There's so much stuff that was there that people would have missed because, you know, the later games provide you, the remastered collection especially, you'll be able to see where the sub-stories are. So you can find them and, you know, enjoy them. Whereas, like, in the original PlayStation 3 release, good luck! Hope you find it. If you don't, oh well. That really helps people get to, like, experience the secret boss better. Unless we're talking about fucking Yakuza 2 and 3's case, where I will never, because some of their sub-story missions are through their fucking mini-games, and I just want to die.
Are you talking about the gambling bullshit?
No, gambling's fine. I'm talking about trying to get over...
Did you say fine or fun?
Fine.
Okay.
I'm talking about they want me to get over 200 points in bowling to get a sub-story in 3, and then they want me to get good in golfing.
That's not that bad.
They want me to get good in Yakuza 2's golfing to get the sub-story started. Well, no, because in Yakuza 3's case, it's a little jank. Well, not jank, but it's not easy from what I've been trying to do. So
yeah, like I did most of the side stuff, including the golf and stuff, in the original release for Yakuza 3 and 4. So like I know what you're talking about.
It's
but
fucking hard.
It is hard, but to me, I enjoyed it enough that it was frustrating at times. As you know, as it got further along, it got harder. But I don't know, like I mostly enjoyed that. It's the shit like the gambling and like, ooh, get X amount of points in fucking whatever, koi or
right.
Like, kiss my ass. I don't want to do that shit. It's not fun. It's like you're literally just grinding it out to get through it because it's not enjoyable. Those are the things that I don't like.
Yeah, and what I like, I don't know if I can't tell if it's been available in like the OG ones because I haven't seen the gambling cheat item yet, but I know in Kiwami's case there's like stuff that can help you get through those games, like the Hanafuda deck or something like that. I don't know. There's some cheat items that can help you with some of the gambling games later. Jesus Christ, later on. And that usually makes the gambling easier. Like, for example, in the very ancient games, you know, very beginning of the days, they had like stuff to...
Ancient games?
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So for roulette, they give you like the black jewel or the red jewel, and if you play that,
oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought you were referring to like the original Yakuza games. I'm like, god damn.
Well, they've had it since then. You know, they've had those cheat items. Only Yakuza 0 is the only game where they don't have cheat items for gambling. So that's where the real grinding comes in, because then you have to do that fair because there's no cheat items. Fuck. But yeah. So I get what you mean. There's a lot of completion to go around. I forgot what our original point was.
Yeah, me too. I think it was just that I have the Yakuza collection and I will get to it eventually. It just sucks for me because Yakuza is literally one of my favorite game franchises of all time. So the fact that I'm this behind just like eats away at my soul because
every day.
Really, I literally think about it at least a little bit, like every fucking day. It's like anytime I'm gonna play a game, I'm like, man, I really want to just play a Yakuza game, but it's not that simple. You can't just sit down and play a little fucking Yakuza. It's a fucking commitment, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I can hear Diz screaming in the background about this, as we have converted her into Yakuzisms, and it's all our fault.
Oh, have you started Dead Souls yet?
No, so I'll talk a little bit more about that on my end, unless there's anything else.
If you want to get the completion in that, you're gonna hate your life because there's some really annoying shit in that.
Wouldn't be a Yakuza game if they didn't have some one little gimmicky thing. So, was there any other games that you were tackling?
Nope, that's it. It's all you.
Okay, well, since we're on the topic of Yakuza, because that's.
I do want to point out that I'm highly considering importing Yakuza 7 just because It looks fucking amazing. I know I would suffer, but I saw a video where what's the main character's name in that one? I don't know.
Ichiban.
Yeah.
Because he's number one.
He fucking, I don't know if he threw it or he commanded it, but like he took a fucking lobster and threw it at an enemy, and like the lobster was still alive, and it just like in midair, like it attacks the fucking whatever enemy that he threw it at, and it's all like super dramatic, over the top action scene. It was amazing, and I need more of that shit in my life immediately.
I think, I don't know, because it's a main Yakuza game, it's not like Judgment where you can just jump into that without any prior knowledge. I think I'd still avoid it until you...
Well, but it's its own thing. It's like a separate...
No, because Kiryu and Majima and Saitama make an appearance there.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. That was
God damn it.
That was one of their biggest like reveals in one of the trailers, and I didn't personally poke into it, but images were everywhere and I couldn't avoid it. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, don't do it. Let's get through the other games first.
But on the bright side, I wouldn't know what's going on.
Oh, get out of here! Yeah.
Okay, now you may go.
Okay. So, as you may know, I did beat Yakuza 4. I spent a whole week playing Yakuza 4 trying to get past, because I was making slow-ass progress. Like, I would do a little bit of Akiyamas, then I would be halfway through Akiyamas, and then halfway through Saijimas, and then, days would go by, and next, I'd try to get through Saijimas, and then there's Tanimura, and then there's Kiryu. I'm just like, bruh, there's so much going on. There's like a lot of, and each character had their own little grind thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
Akiyama.
I kind of like that though, because it mixed things up a little bit.
Yeah. Akiyama's thing was like the fucking cabaret maker, which I've already expressed before. It's good at first, and then it's just grinding and tedious. Like, it becomes like a tycoon simulator later in Yakuza 0's case, and that honestly, for me, streamlined things more. I think it's cool from Yakuza 3 and 4's perspective that you get to see like some cinematics of the girl doing some good customer service. I thought that was cool. It's just that, trying to make her number one was harder than trying to make a club number one kind of thing. So that was fine, but what was cool was that once you did get them number one, they can later be an actual hostess for like Tanimura and Kiryu to see, and they'll be in the outfit that you picked for them. That was fucking cool. I liked that shit. Fucking Saijima's side hustle thing was the fucking fighter maker, and I did not like that. I did not like having the whole like experiment and try to fucking hope for the best and trying to like make the dojo number one. I did consult to a guy because I was not about to like sit here for hours, and there was one guy in particular that really just made me want to kill like him right there and then. And like trying to train the guy to be number one, but he would still be shitty as a fighter. You stand there and watch him lose several thousand times. At that point, I said, fuck the guide. Like, the guide can't even help me through this one. I have to do my own shit, but fuck, is it stressful. And yeah, that was a bit of a thing. Tanimura's was easy, because all you had to do was like, hey, stuff is happening over there. Go stop it. Okay. And that's either fighting people or chasing people. That's easy. I can do that. That's fine. And then Kiryu was just Gangbusters, Yakuza 4 edition. The Gangbusters, which that's what I was trying to mention, I remember. In Yakuza 1 was just that group that kept trying to, fuck you over because you busted them up. And then every time when you run around through town, you'd be running into the Gangbusters and like, we're gonna fuck you up. And you kept doing that for like 5,000 years until Kiryu's like, okay, where the fuck's your leader? I'm done with this shit, right? But in Yakuza Kiwami's case, they actually made like an actual story with dialogue and an actual preset amount of battles instead of like making it a random encounter that you had to find in certain locations. It made it less tedious, is what I was, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they definitely expand more on some of the missions and made them more sub-story quality content. So, yeah, so basically in Yakuza 4, it's like that all over again. And, yeah, it was cool. Getting back into Kiryu was making me realize something. They blocked for him. All the blocking bullshit was happening with him, but I don't think it was as bad as Yakuza 3's. Because, Yeah, I don't remember, like, getting that annoyed, but by then, I guess I was also used to knowing what I need to do to get past them. You know, like fucking Kiryu's guard break combo where you hit square 3 times and then you hit triangle 2 times and then he does a slam dunk which breaks the guard. And the AI will usually respond appropriately that will make me counter them and just, you know, fucking dominate the room. Plus, there's all the juggle physics they got in that engine that was fucking fun to mess around. I don't know. It was really fun playing as Kiryu. And then Akiyama was also just as fun. I think, like, Saijima's powerful and stuff, but he's kind of on the slow end. I didn't really feel too
I didn't really like playing as him too much.
And Tanimura's is very... No, he's a mix. He's a mixed can of worms. The only real thing I enjoyed from Tanimura was just arresting everybody. That's it. I would do his dash back kick, which would stun them, and then you could do the handcuff heat action. And I'd just be like, "You're under arrest because that suit looks terrible. You're under arrest because you ran into my girl and she broke her leg, bitch. You're under arrest for having a gun. Don't you know there are laws in Japan about those? Fuck."
Police can't even have guns, you bitch. Oh, wait.
But wait, he has that taunt where he shoots the gun in the air twice. I was told that, you know, like he's pretty the side of the game, and character-wise, I don't know, he was all right. He wasn't bad per se. Fighting his final boss for his story, not like the final boss. Both were just But yeah, that part was meh, but I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, the new actor was a lot more lively. Later on, I went to go watch to see how the original Tanimura was, and the other Tanimura, the original one, was kind of, like, not acting. He was kind of meh as a voice actor. Like, I don't know. I felt meh, but I enjoyed, like, this new performance. And, I don't know. Maybe the voice actor makes all the difference in adding character to somebody, but I don't know.
Well, yeah.
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 So, you know, ultimately, you know, Yakuza 4 was, like, honestly, like, a breath of fresh air after Yakuza 3, so I really enjoyed it, and I feel like that might be a lot of the reasons why...
Don't you talk shit about Yakuza 3!
It was still experimental. Like, it was still experimental of what they were doing. Like, they fixed a lot of the shit.
Well, yeah, it was the first one in that engine.
Yeah. So...
it was good!
I can't... Like, okay, let's not forget. I don't think it's absolutely bad, but it's not, like, as good. Like, in terms of, the whole series that I've been experiencing so far, it's the weak. Right.
This is why you gotta play them in order, man.
Well, I have been, and I have been going back to the originals, and like I told you, I'm having, you know, a lot more fun there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, the only real thing that's annoying in the originals is when the enemies dodge, because they have that badass invincibility frame. The dodging in there is like the guarding in Yakuza 3. That's what I feel like. Except with the guarding... Fuck. So, then you know that I did, after Yakuza 4, I did a lot of, like, the extra content. That was fun, especially where Saejima has to run away from the fucking... okay. So you know how he did that one sub-story where there's like a fucking... What do they call those guys again? The fucking... Kappas. The Kappas. There's like a Kappa in a sewer stealing food. And there was this guy dressed as a Kappa trying to make the Kappas real, like, prove that they're real. Like those fucking green birds with, like, the turtle back. At the end of the sub-story, a real Kappa pokes his head out of the sewer and you're just like, what? What the fuck? And then for the challenge battles, like for run away from the Kappas. What? I get into the mission expecting to see, like, the guy in the suit, but no! It's real human-sized Kappas chasing after you, and I'm just like, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And they were all, like, headbutting me to death, and I forgot that if you push square, you can roll and dodge it. So I lost a few times, and then I was like, oh, I see. I'm supposed to roll my way to victory. It's Resident Evil 6, guys, and you can roll, and you can do these slides, and bafflingly crawl forward. It's super cool. Yeah. that was fun. I did a few requests for Haruka before inevitably saying fuck this, because then she wanted me to do some gambling. I brought cheat items to get through it, and that was fine. And then I used one extra, and I did not make her quota, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I did everything else. Oh, and then fucking the final like challenge mode thing where you have to fight all the bosses with all the characters, but you kind of did that already, so now you just do it in one run. For Kiryu's case, he had just like a few people from the arena, because most of his battles were just with other characters, so his final battle wasn't fucking Akira Yamaoka. What the fuck is he doing in Yakuza? It was fucking Komaki, and I barely had any time left to hit him, and Komaki dodges like a fucking maniac. Because that's Komaki. Of course he's not gonna go down like a bitch, but I didn't have the time to like get ready to like take him down, and then I'm just like, okay, you know what? Fuck this too. I did 90% of everything. Fuck.
That's the worst part. Like, it's one thing to just like say fuck the completion and just go through and beat it, but when you get so close and not get it and you invested all that time, it's like the worst feeling. I fucking hate that.
Plus, I was trying to get Yakuza 2 done and hopefully Dead Souls before 5 came out, but as you could tell, I didn't have that time, and then I had to make sure I got My Restless Nightmares out, so that died. So then we started Yakuza 5. Yeah!
Oh boy.
The game I've been waiting for years, because now it's on familiar engine, familiar territory. And it's familiar engine, familiar territory, but there's still some stuff that was still carried over from, like, you know, the classics. So there's some stuff like pushing the select button will bring up tips, and you can still return to the title from the select button. I'm just like, okay. Because I really want to, like, I don't know, you get spoiled when you play Zero and Kiwami, because then you're used to hitting the pad button, which is the select button, right? To get to the map. But you can't do that. You have to actually go to the plasma menu and then go to the map, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
It's the little things.
The little things. And then in Yakuza Zero's case, they actually finally improved, like, how you keep your, you know, your armor and your weapons and stuff. Like, they have a separate, like, item space for that. So you can actually have your weapons and armors away from your item screen, so then you can keep actual, like, healing items on you and not have to juggle with that with, like, the items. You know what I mean?
That's nice.
Yeah. So, but, you know, obviously, like...
It only took them how many fucking games?
It took them to get to the prequel to get to that. So, yeah, that's still there, and I'm just like, okay. And then, combat's a little more familiar. I mean, it's still the same, it's just... I think what I really find that's cool is that Kiryu's finishing hold, when you push triangle, you push circle, you can throw them right after. It doesn't require heat. Oh, that's the one thing that really, like, kicked my dick. Since Zero, they kept that, they made it still consume heat from Zero, and then, of course, they kept that for 1. But what really sucked in Kiwami 1 was double finisher costed heat, and I thought that was bullshit. But then again, it wasn't, the double finisher didn't existed in the original game, so I can kind of understand, but it's still bullshit, because they didn't make it consume heat in Yakuza 0. But finishing holds, sure. Yeet your enemy, use some heat, but not in Yakuza 5's case. Oh no, you can yeet them all you want, Dante. Just hope they weren't guard broken. Fuck. The enemy encounter rate, which I heard was supposed to be, like, fucking high, I wasn't experiencing at first, but I'm starting to see just a bit. Like, I was just not even done walking the entire road down, and I ran to another battle, and I'm just like, okay. But for so far, personally, I'm not bothered by it, because I enjoy the combat, and I'm fine with beating the shit out of everybody. It annoys me that they have the whole new, like, enemy fleeing mechanic, so then you miss out on, like, beating some people because they decide to run. That's a little, I don't care if they call for backup, because then that means, yes, it's time to bust more heads. That's how I see it. I guess I welcome the increased amount of enemies. It's familiar territory, so I welcome all of it with open arms. I spent most of the first 12 hours of the game just literally walking through Fukuoka, because it was like a stranger town, and I just wanted to see what's there. But, like, half of the time Kiryu doesn't want to go in, because I can't eat, I'm full. And so, when I go there, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet. And then he didn't want to go to the cabaret club, because he doesn't want to go out drinking alone tonight. Okay. So, we get there, we finally get to the part where I get to find where I could drive the taxi, and that was something. I did a practice run, the free driving, so I could see how driving's like, and, I followed the rules of the road, use your blinkers, wait for the stoplight, don't run into pedestrians, except for the ones that deliberately trying to run in your fucking face, oh my god, those scripted locations where there's gonna be that guy who's like, whoa, let me run in front of your car. I'm like, whoa, bro, I'm driving here, you fucking idiot! Once I was done with that, I just decided to, crazy taxi through it, which the fastest you can go is 40 miles per hour. And I was getting minus 30 points when I had no customer, just because I was driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm just like, fuck, I don't give a shit, man, I gotta go fast.
American rules.
Exactly. But they definitely shoved a lot of, stuff like, oh, if there's a car on the road, you need to, drive around it, and you and the driver need to coordinate that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like some of the elements of life in there, even though I really dread waiting for the red light to turn green. I can see that I'm not ready to own a car in real life, because in terms of my gamer, what my gamer says about me says I don't want to wait for that red light. It is taking too long. I got a customer to drive. Fuck.
Need that money.
And then the fucking taxi racing, that was fun. I love the whole heat actions you can do on the fucking highway. Fucking, who are you? I'm just a taxi man. A taxi man that was the 4th chairman of the Tojo clan. Whoa! On my last stream, I actually did the rest of the taxi stuff. I kind of did some of the racing taxi stuff. That was really fun and crazy. I just hated that, there was rubber banding going on. They purposely added tension by making the racer pass by you when they shouldn't have. I'm just like, okay, bitch, alright. But, that made some close calls, and on my racing, especially with the last guy who was getting a few bits ahead of me, but I still won. What I'm heartbroken is there was supposed to be a Haruka decal for your car, and it's not there. And I'm like, why? Why can't I put my daughter on my fucking car? I want to represent her, okay? Fuck. So some people are speculating that it might be a premium adventure mode thing, because their other speculation of it being when you get past level 20 is wrong, so I don't know what's going on. So I've done most of the sub-stories I can. I just gotta get some more restaurants in to get more moves, more XP unlocked, and then I actually, before the stream ended, I started doing the Cabaret Club, which is, like I said, so nice to be back to the engine you're familiar with, because that's when they started fully voicing everything in the Cabaret Club, instead of those, so desu ne, Kiryu-san te wa, none of those short clips, actual fully voiced lines. And that was really cool for me. And then it's all in first person, as opposed to seeing a third person camera showing Kiryu and the hostess. You get to really enjoy the hostess's body and graphical glory or whatever. Also, the fucking new club in Fukuoka looks so cool. It has that fucking water floor, with the river that flows and a little bridge to walk over. I think that's fucking cool. So, yeah, when I get back to playing that game, pimping out my hostess is what I want to do. I really feel because I played Kiwami, and it's a more streamlined version of that, because in Yakuza 0, it's managing the Cabaret Club, and it's not the same as going to one, and from Yakuza 5's feel, it feels like the most realistic and fleshed out one in terms of interaction, because I don't know, there was always a set beat, set conversation. If you do this, that's the end of that conversation topic. But in Yakuza 5's case, if you do that, she'll move on to another conversation topic. It's actually fleshed out. If you pick this response, it'll go to that. It'll go to this topic. If you pick that response, it'll go to that topic. There's actually multiple ways to talk to this girl, and I think that's fucking cool. I don't know, man. I'm enjoying this game. I have yet to get to the next part, but I'm taking my time because I love this series. So
that's why I haven't been playing it, because I need to do the same thing.
So, yeah. As anyone expected, I haven't really played any other games except Yakuza. The only really thing I can mention is that I've been watching games, games that I will probably never get to tackle in my life. in like YouTube video game movies, but that's a topic for another day. I don't want to get we've gone pretty long right now just with that. So we're gonna quickly dive into our media discussion topic. So we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about, because originally I was going to talk about something else, but now that's going to be moved to next Bootcast. And this is one that Shaun Senpai has actually tackled on his Wardcast in his news section. It's about next-gen consoles. As we all know, we got the PlayStation 5 coming around, shockingly named the PlayStation 5.
What?
Whoa, right? And then, I know there's like a bunch of fucking versions of the Xbox coming out, so I don't remember all those off the top of my head. You do, but they're coming out, and from what I've heard about everything, it just sounds like, for the most part, they're focusing on like the technical aspects, like, ooh, it's gonna run off of SSDR memory, and it's got this much RAM, and you can load this part of Spider-Man faster than before, and we're hearing a lot about the tech. We're not hearing much about the graphics too much, or seeing any actual footage of what this next gen console is going to look like. So a lot of times Senpai has brought up onto the table is it really like a next gen console, or is it just a performance upgrade? Because as we know so far, you can play some of your PlayStation 4 games on there. So from my perspective, it looks like instead of just getting a PlayStation 4 Pro, which I was originally thinking about doing, now it just looks like getting a PlayStation 5. It's like the PlayStation 4 Pro 2.
Yeah.
With just
Exactly, yeah.
more worth investing into instead of buying the Pro. So, Senpai, you've covered this topic a lot before. Let's hear your end. Rehear your end of the spectrum about how you feel about all this new generation of consoles and stuff.
Oh boy. I mean, just from the very beginning of it, just rolling everything out is really weird to me, the way that they're doing it, because it feels like they don't really know what the fuck they're doing, because in previous generations they've been more transparent about like, hey everybody, this is our new console. These are the reasons to buy it. These are the specs. These are the games. This is what it's going to look like. Get hype, buy our shit. But now it's just like it seems like nobody wants to talk about anything. It's like, well, I guess, we're close enough, so we'll give you some spec information because we probably have to. And it's like, oh, well, we don't want to give a price point because we're waiting on what Microsoft is doing. And, Microsoft isn't even putting out any exclusive titles for 2 years into the life of the system. It's like, there's no confidence. There's nothing. They're not giving us anything to get excited. And it's leaving this impression on me that like they either don't know what they're doing or they don't want to tell us what they're doing. And I feel like it's the latter. Like they don't really want us to see the greater picture, because I feel like these next gen systems are just going to be like a bridge, like a temporary thing transitioning us from the current generation of gaming and what we know gaming to be into what the future is going to be, which is obviously going to be more digital, more streaming, more, downloadable streaming content. And they're probably trying to tiptoe around that because of what happened last generation, where when, Xbox went pro digital and they got all that backlash because the original Xbox One was going to be all digital and the reception just wasn't there. So I feel like they're afraid to commit to that. But at the end of the day, I feel like both companies, PlayStation or Sony and Microsoft, want to get there, but they're just being careful about how they get there and what that looks like. So basically what that means for us though is like we're getting no information, and we're buying into consoles that we don't really know where they're going. Like, what's the future of these consoles? It just, like you said, there's no point in buying a PS4 Pro because you can just buy the next PS5, and it's essentially the same thing. The next gen consoles are just the next upgrade of what we already have. That's very different than what consoles used to be, right? Every console generation used to be a very defined, very specific, like snapshot of technology in gaming, but that's not what we're getting anymore. now they are PCs. Now they are incremental upgrades, and the new systems are that extension of what we have. I don't like that. I don't understand why you would want that, because we've already had that for many, many years. They call it a PC. So if that's what you want, why would you buy a console where you're getting what you can get out of a PC to a much lesser extent? You know, you're never going to be able to upgrade a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox Series X or whatever the fuck they're calling it. Like you're never going to be able to get a powerful version of that will compare to a high-end PC. That's never going to happen. So why would you buy into something where you're super limited in, when they're trying to essentially be the same thing and have that iterational hardware? It doesn't make sense. You're paying more for less.
I feel like, so on my side of this whole spectrum, as a guy who does have both a decently running PC, but and also like, you know, the console at the same time, and I mingle with both. For me, because I can't take my PC everywhere. This big hulking fucking box that's inside of my room is going to be inside my room, right? Mm-hmm. You can take your console anywhere, you know, at risk, but you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere's a bit excessive, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, it is more than a fucking computer where you need to get your keyboard and your mouse and this big tower, and you got to have, well, I mean, you don't really need a monitor these days. You can typically hook it up to a
TV,
like a TV or whatever.
Right.
But still, yeah, you're talking about more pieces and a bigger box.
Right.
So I get that.
And then there's like, I could say like here's a comparison. Android phones, right? You can customize some shit in an Android phone. You can't customize an iPod. What kind of, there's the mix of crowds. There's the mix of crowds or Mac and just Windows in general, you know? So Mac has everything set for you. You got what you got. The specs are what they are. You gotta buy another Mac. With the desktop, Windows stuff, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You can customize it. You can do, there's a lot of brain power going into that to like make it the beast machine that you want it to be. But you don't have to think about that stuff when you get an Apple product, because they design it in the way that you're going to get it. And that's what I feel like this case is with like the consoles. Like, no matter what, you get a PC, you still have to make the PC the best PC you can make it. You get a console that's preset, you don't really have to think about it. It's there. So, for me personally, because I use both my PC and my console, and I tend to like lean more towards console gaming, so then I can keep doing my PC stuff while I do my console gaming. I feel like there's definitely a more benefit for people who work like me, who would prefer, like, I love to play on a PC, sure, because I got all the high graphics performance stuff to make things run better than a console any other day. But I feel like I lean towards more consoles because of the freedom I get to do on my computer. Otherwise, it seems counterproductive with my case, because I could be playing fucking... what are some games that I could be playing on, like Killer 7, or I could play Devil May Cry 5 with definite 100% 60 frames per second, because I don't have a PS4 Pro and it won't run in 60 frames per second, or like Yakuza 0, where I can watch those cutscenes in full 60 FPS, or play Yakuza Kiwami 2, which was stuck on 30 frames per second. Now, truly, if my PC can handle it at 60 frames per second, like all the smoother performance for me, as a gamer, I like a nicely running game that performs smoothly, and it's cool to see that happen. But if I can get that off a console, that's cool too, That was kind of one of the things I really miss about the backwards compatible PlayStation 3s, because I would pop in my PlayStation 2 disc, and the loading times would go down because it's operating with the PS3's hardware, and that was cool. Or when I record footage off there, it looked better than recording it off the PlayStation 2. Like, if I had done My Restless Nightmares with the PlayStation 3, and not like the HD collection, but playing the PlayStation 2 off the PlayStation 3 with a slightly wider resolution and sharper image, it would have looked better. So my point is, there's like a benefit for some people who can't really risk it right now on their PC, who don't really have like either the help they need or they don't have like all the financial money they need to like invest in each part and customize the computer, because it's a lot more expensive to make that computer than to say like spend $600 or less on a console, because it definitely costs a lot more than $600 to fucking get a new PC and have that set. And then the thing is we have to keep in mind is the PC will eventually need to get replaced. Like right now, what's going on with me? 5 years have passed, I had to get a new graphics card, there's some external hard drives that need replacing, and when I had that fire incident that happened, my fucking processor apparently popped out and I had to push it back in. I don't know if it'll eventually will power out or whatever, like it's set in, it'll be fine, but something tells me eventually I'll need to replace it with one that will get into the fucking motherboard and not go fucking insane. There's a whole liability going on after enough time passes, because those don't stick around. A console, it's usually there. You know, if you take good care of it, at the very least, you know, it'll be there for life and shit, but eventually time passes and PC parts need to get upgraded. You see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's just like, I feel like you could probably, if you were to buy a PC that ran at the specs of like what these systems are going to be, you know, you would get it a lot cheaper and you wouldn't have to mess with it. You know, you don't have to upgrade it. You can, but you wouldn't have to. You could just leave it as it is. Don't mess with it. Don't risk messing things up. Don't, you know, you don't have to fuck with any of that. And it's still going to be on par with what you're getting out of a console. But also it's a PC, right? You can use it to fucking do PC things in addition to running games better than they will on that console. So it just, why even bother? You know, because you can get everything, every little bit of piece or every little aspect that a console will offer, you know, in the next generation, you can get out of a PC plus some without even upgrading. So what like the whole point of getting a console was, yes, it's cheaper, yes, or typically, you know, you're getting that, it's about stability and consistency and ease of use, you know, reliability. And when the more they extend themselves out to being incremental and upgradable, and where you're like, they're starting to give you that adjustability where you can, you know, I want to focus on resolution over frame rate or whatever, you know, the more tools that they give you to play around with on the console, the more they're going to open up a console up to failure anyway, because, you know, adjusting the hardware settings up and down and tinkering with settings takes more of a toll on the hardware than if that shit wasn't in there. You know, there's more moving parts, there's more manipulation, and it's more likely to break down over time.
Right. If it gets to that point where it's where you can customize it just like a PC, yeah, I'll see your point that I'm seeing no difference. It's just that it's not built like a PC to last like a PC. I get it.
And it also just kind of removed that feeling of like, I'm playing this shitty version of this game and that sucks.
Right.
You know, that's not something that entered the mind of a gamer, because there's one version. It's like, okay, well, I bought Grand Theft Auto and it's Grand Theft Auto, and that's the end of the story.
But then the PlayStation 4 comes out.
Yeah, and then so now we're talking about the PlayStation 5, and you got the launch version and you got the new game at the time or whatever, and then the PlayStation 5 5 Pro or whatever the fuck they call it comes out, and it's going to run that same game on that system, but it's going to run it better. So now it's going to look better, it's going to run better, it's going to have more bells and whistles, and now you're getting that same feeling that you would if you were a PC gamer, where it's like, oh, well, now I'm playing a shitty version of this game on my lower end PC, and that sucks. It's a very different dynamic, it's a different experience, and it's more for casual people, you know, but you know, you can still appreciate that as a hardcore person. But I just don't like that. Like, I want one version of the game. I want the game to be the game, and this is how it is. There's no change. It's just like the whole fucking games as a service thing, right? Where it's like you buy a game, and then through time they update it and they change it, and they, you know, they tip the balancing. Like, they make some characters weak, they make some characters strong, they They change gameplay mechanics, and it turns out to be a completely different game at the end of the day compared to what you initially bought. And like, I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to know what I'm buying into. I want it to stay the way that it was when I bought it, because that's what I wanted, and there's no need to change it. Like, I shouldn't have to think about my console in the same way. Like, I don't want to have to stress out over, oh, they released a new model. You know, I want the best performing version of this, so now I gotta fucking throw $100 or $300, $400, whatever that looks like, back at the company to get the new model. And it's just like, I don't want to fucking have to deal with that. Consoles were nice where it's like, okay, well, this generation, I got the system, I'm good to go for whatever 5 to 8 years until the next system comes out.
Right. I can't even remember how long it's been since the PlayStation 4 was out. Actually, it's been 7 years, hasn't it?
Something like that. I know that the 360 and PS3 ran, I think it was either a 7 or 8 year console generation, I think.
So there's been like this 7-8 year passage between time before they start developing new tech.
Because it used to be like 5, and then they extended it quite a bit the last couple generations.
Then in like PlayStation 3's case, there was like the fucking other versions of the gigabytes, because they were taking out the backwards compatibility, or they made it flat. And then they had the one that I have where you can open the top with like physically, instead of like having that disc slide out shit.
Oh yeah.
Which was great, because when my PlayStation 3 Yellow Light of Death, I had a CD stuck in there, and I had to bust that bitch open. No. So, you know, they've had to do like those little patches to the console like that before they released the PlayStation 4. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of like multiple versions of the same fucking console with slight tweaks here and there coming out now these days. And the PS4 is really honestly no exception. But yeah, I see how it could become a worry now, because you never know if you're having the definitive version of the console.
Yeah, because for me, like, you always want the best version, right?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you want the best version? You don't want a shittier version of a game or console or whatever. You want the cool shit. You want the best version, the best performing, the best looking, whatever. The one with the extra features. Which is why I don't like DLC, because it feels like everything you buy is incomplete now.
Right.
Like, you're never buying a fully complete game anymore, because there's always going to be DLC or a season pass or this or that, or they changed it or they updated it. Like, all that shit was removed from console gaming, and that was kind of the beauty of it. You know, PC games, you've always had mods, right? So essentially, in some form, there's always been an element of DLC in the PC community, because you could always download patches and mods and changes that you could do with your game. And if you wanted that, that's great. Go do it on PC. Keep consoles simple, straightforward. That's the beauty of the difference. So why remove that? Why have 2 versions of PC?
The world may never know.
That's what I just don't get. I just don't think like they're looking at it that way. Just like, oh, well, I can upgrade my shit or whatever. I don't even know. I don't understand what the perception is from the general audience that makes this appealing. I just don't understand it.
For those of you listening in, tell us your thoughts about what you think about the whole new generation, and like, how does it feel to you? Does it feel like a new console? Does it feel like a performance upgrade? Tell us your thoughts. But in the meantime, we are going to wrap up on that and get moving to the next segment.
What's that?
It's gonna be Dante's bullshit quiz game! Get me the audience clapping noise.
Damn it. I was hoping you'd hit the wrong thing.
No. Well. Welcome to Dante's Bullshit Quiz Game, where I pick several things in media. It's a better version of the one I had in Christmas. I pick 5 questions. Each question is worth 10 points if you guess it at the top of your head. If you want an A, B, C, and D for the questions, you get 5 points, and you'll lose the points in accordance to whichever one you go with.
I'm gonna get 0 points. Let's go.
You can even go into the negatives, and you'll win a prize. Well, depending on how many points you get. That's the new thing.
Boy.
For Voice-Coon, for his 15-point win over Diz, he gets a trip to Tahiti. Congratulations, Voice-Coon. Later on, come pick up your prize, and let's go to fucking Tahiti, man. As for Diz, she got 0 points, so she gets 0.
Diz, you and me, we're about to tie.
You're gonna have.
So I might even go into the negative, see what happens.
Yep. I like that Diz got 0 because she likes things with 0, so I'm gonna give her the number 0. I'm sure she'll like it.
Wow, she owns it? Copyright?
I don't know about owning it or copyright, but she's getting a number 0.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, are you ready?
No, but let's go.
Okay, alright, so here is question 1. Back in the shitty Spood days, I did a shitty impression of Shaun's voice for my Rogan and Leon. Yes, that's right, both the House of the Dead Spood, Rogan, and then Leon. Those don't exist anymore, except in which Resident Evil Spood and what episode?
So, like, how does that work, though? Like, you change styles into
This was before I changed the voice into the voice we know now, because the episode has me doing that voice. This was before I made the change. If you want the A, B, and C, and D, we can do this. Doesn't hurt. It'll make you lose less.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, here we are. A. Resident Evil 6 Spood, Episode 1. B. Resident Evil 4 Spood, Episode 4. C. Resident Evil 4 Spood, Episode 3. And D. Resident Evil 6 Spood, Episode 4.
I'm gonna go with Episode 3 for Resident Evil 4.
Is that your final answer?
Don't ask me that, I hate that, yes! Fuck!
The answer is Resident Evil 6 Spood, Episode 4.
What?
So, that episode had the other guy voicing Leon for the most part, right? I went on BTVA to get some voice actors in and all that stuff, and I hadn't voiced Leon since Resident Evil 6 Spood Episode 1, which was the original shitty impersonation. But, as you know, I got rid of that, patched that, with the modern day voice. But, before I made that voice change, at the very end of Resident Evil 6 Spood Episode 4, that Leon sneezes because then the voice actor had to leave us, so I made it sound like a voice mutation. When Leon's voice comes back, it's my old shitty Shaun impersonation Leon voice. And then the next episode he was in had the voice we know and now and love. So if you ever take a look back at that, that's the only time you'll hear that. Resident Evil 6 Spood Episode 4 at the very end. Ta-da.
We'll have to do a community Let's Watch where we go through all your machinimas and mine.
That would totally be awesome, and I am 100% down for that. Plus, it'll be easier to do since it's on YouTube. Better than when I tried doing that on Discord in the call.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
It's hard. So, you're at -5 points since you pulled out instead of 10 because you pulled out A, B, C, and D. Congratulations. This next question, however, as I warned you, does not have A, B, C, and D because this is a Resident Evil question.
Oh no.
That is why I took out the A, B, C, and D, because it's so small that I feel like you should get this.
Apparently, I know nothing about Resident.
According to Alec,
Yeah.
in the Merchant's location, in the Delago Lake location, the Ditman glitch can help Leon find some Gucci things behind the walls, except for this one thing that will crash the game. What is that item that will crash the game?
Oh fuck. Yeah, I have no idea. Never even heard. I know about the Dipman glitch, but I didn't know you could get a special item for it.
It's an item that exists in the game, but Leon can't use it. Apparently, though, in the PlayStation 3 version, he can use it. It'll just look normal. It won't look the way you expect it to look, because it doesn't belong to him.
Grappling gun?
Was that your final answer?
That's the only thing I could think of.
Behind the cave, you could find some herbs, some shotgun shells, landmine bullet. I think there's like one in there. And Ada's shotgun.
So random.
For some fucking reason, if you equip this in the PlayStation 2 version or old PC version, the game crashes because Leon can't have Ada's shotgun. However, apparently in the PlayStation 3 version and onwards, Leon can hold it like a normal shotgun. It'll be his shotgun, not the one that she has with the pump action. That was interesting. I stayed the fuck away from that when I played like the other versions, because I'm like, I don't want to fucking crash my game if he holds that. But nope.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never even heard of that shit.
Someone doesn't fuck around with glitches, I see.
Nah, I really don't. That's not really my thing. I like to play within the confines of the fucking game. I'm not a cheater.
Okay, here we're on to question 3.
Boy.
In the Matrix infamous bullet dodging scene, where Neo bends himself to dodge bullets, how many audible gunshots are fired from the agent's weapon?
Oh, fuck you. What is this question?
Hey,
where is this coming from?
You know, I had a really hard time remembering what movies you've watched, but I know you've had to watch The Matrix.
Fuck.
This one has A, B, C, and D.
I don't think that's gonna help me because I think it's 3 or 4.
Oh.
So. Okay, give him to me because apparently I'm way off.
So A through D is 7 through 10.
Wait, what?
7, 8, 9, or 10.
Well, I must be thinking of a different scene. On the rooftop?
Yeah, on the rooftop.
Who knows something like that? Like when you're watching the movie, are you counting the shots? Oh my god, I hate you. I'm gonna go with 9.
9?
Yep. That's my final answer.
Okay.
Ah!
It's 8.
God.
You can recover from this, though. There are bonus points. Out of those 8 bullets, how many of those actually hit Neo? You won't lose extra points, but you can recover those points you're about to lose if you can guess how many of those bullets actually hit Neo.
I think it's 2.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Yay!
Congratulations! You gain no points, but you don't lose any points.
Woohoo! Salvaged it.
2 bullets hit him. 8 shots. 2 hit him.
God, that seems like too many. I mean, I know I went with 9, but I'm just trying to think, like...
It almost sounded like there could have been 9, but at that point, it wasn't really audible. Like, it wasn't clear. So it was 8 that were clearly shot.
What possessed you to come up with that?
I had no other movies that I knew that I could find something, and I picked one that I knew we had to both mutually know. And then I had to pick something...
What about Big Bad Mama San?
I'm not gonna lie, I did think about Big Bad Mama San, but then I'd have to rewatch the movie real quick to see if there was anything I could find.
I still would have got it wrong, so it's fine.
Alright, on to question 4.
Oh boy.
This Aqua song had lyrics that sounded like a medieval setting, but the music video had fucking pirates! Completely contrary to what people thought it would be. Which song is this?
I'll need the hints, or the multiple choice.
A. My Oh My. B. Barbie Girl. C. Lollipop. D. Dr. Jones.
I don't even know that I've seen any of those other than the Barbie.
What? I thought... Breaking my heart. Was I a bigger Aqua fan?
Maybe. I've heard all the songs, I just haven't seen many of the videos. I'm gonna go with Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones? Is that your final answer?
Yep. Shit!
The answer is My Oh My. Because the song starts with, like, the sounds of a galloping horse, and she talks about Prince and a tall white horse. And it sounds like it's Robin Hood, you know, gotta steal from the rich when they don't know from them coming.
Okay.
And give to the poor no time for loving. But it's fucking pirates!
This is music videos we're talking about. Like, most of the time, it has nothing to do with the song.
I was so hurt. I expected at least a medieval setting. I expected Aqua to do it, but I guess not.
Maybe that's why they changed it. They wanted to subvert expectations.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, right? They made Barbie Burnett.
They are crazy.
Yep. Very, very crazy. My music question had to be Aqua. You know I had no other choice.
I give you props for that.
Thanks. It won't get your points back, but thanks. All right. I know you're gonna hate this next question too.
Oh boy.
Would you say
if we could go 0 for 5?
When you said get the fuck out of here, Dante, with this, I was like, oh,
shit.
okay. The final question. When little Dante was trying to sign up on YouTube, he went through various usernames because he was a dumbass trying to figure out email. Ugh, fucking stupid.
Email's hard.
Before he was DarkAbridgerEX, which then turned to DarkAbridgerEX, what was the first username he picked?
I'll need the multiple choices for sure.
A. AndersonEX. B. Dark Anderson. C. Anderson JT. And D. Dark Dante 747.
Let's go with Dark Anderson.
Is that your final answer?
Let's do it.
Okay.
God damn it!
The very first name I picked was actually Anderson JT.
See, I don't even know what the JT is. How was I supposed to know this?
Well, you can get some bonus points back. You can get 5 points each if you figure out where does the Anderson and the JT draw influence from.
Well, I don't know what the JT even is.
Oh.
So, I have no idea.
Okay, how about the Anderson?
Is it from Mr. Anderson from The Matrix? Hey!
JT is from JT Snow from the Giants.
What is that?
He's a baseball player.
Remember how I said I don't sports?
Yeah, I do now. For damn sure. I thought that was a cool name, so I was Anderson JT.
Wow.
Now you know of the old name that never came to fruition. Imagine how that would be. What's up, Anderson JT? What's up, guys? It's your boy, Anderson JT. Hey, it's Abridger JT. God.
Abridger JT. Oh no.
God, that would not make any sense today. Not at all.
It seems like you made the right call.
In fucking up trying to get an email working? Yes.
Basically.
Great. At the end of the day, you were left with negative 15 points.
Hell yeah. I'm number one at being number 0 or last.
For your negative 15 points, you get a boot to the head.
Yeah. That's what I wanted.
Congratulations. Thank you for participating. I'm your host, LD to the man. I'm D-Man. I deliver packages to people when they're driving by. I throw the package into their car and hope they don't get into a car accident.
Fucking what?
Yep, I'm a drive-by delivery to driver buyers.
Wow.
Ta-da.
I drive by buyers.
Yes.
Fuck 'em.
All right, that concludes that segment. And now for the moment I've been waiting for. It's the situational improv.
Oh boy.
So, as we all know, we have a little situational improv thing. We started adding a new element where we use D&D dice, specifically the one with 10 numbers. And depending on what number we get will depend on how successful our action is in the scene. Spicing it up here.
Fires at Dante. What do I get? Roll the dice.
Fire to Dante. Fuck, you got a 7.
Yeah, got it.
Ow.
It wasn't a critical though.
No. Could have been, but it's not. It just hurts.
Right. At least I didn't miss. Like I missed all those questions.
Yeah.
Nah.
I had to switch to my my improv list for sound effect. There's that. So this situational improv was actually given to us by Alec. Thank you, Alec.
God damn it! I'm already. All right. Okay.
Usually I have to figure something out myself, but he gave me something, and I'm glad he did. So, our situational improv is, we are a bomb squad, here to disable a bomb, but we have a guide that's not in English.
Oh, okay. What language is it in?
That's for us to decide, isn't it?
Okay.
That's the element of surprise. We got the base, we just roll with it. Okay, so we're gonna get the himmy-jimmies out. Ah, fuck! I hit my head on the door. Okay, well, alright, so we got this bomb right here. It's in this hotel. It's in the shitty hotel I had to stay in last week. And some terrorist plant the bomb. We gotta go defuse it, Shaunathan. Do you got...
Hey, what? Wait, are we at the bomb? Where are we? I'm lost.
Okay, first take the blindfold off your eyes.
God, who put this on me?
I don't know. Maybe it was Jeff from downstairs. Fucking Jeff.
I fucking hate Jeff. He's such a dick.
What an asshole.
And he smells like cheese.
No, not cheese. I heard he eats carrots back in the break room.
Well, why does he smell like cheese?
And dips them in cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fucking nasty ass piece of shit. All right, let's open this baby up. You got the kit with you, right? You brought the kit, right?
No, I forgot it.
Okay, well, let me go see if I have it in my backpack.
I have a Q-tip.
I rolled a 9, so I have the bag actually. It was in my other pants pocket that's right behind me. Ta-da!
You're wearing multiple pairs of pants?
That's right. I wear multiple fucking pairs of pants. All right. Fuck. All right. Let's put this baby down. Okay.
Careful. Hey, what does that say on the side? Made in China.
Made in China? Shit, man.
Be careful.
I don't know how to xing shuang hui.
Could have the coronavirus.
Fuck. So not only am I
Wear your gloves.
Okay, I'm putting on my gloves. Okay. The bomb needs to be disabled, and the only thing that's gonna disable it is our kit. Bitch is fucking beeping. We gotta put it. Okay. All right. Open up the manual. Let's read it for me. What do I start?
It's in Africanese.
Africanese? What the
Africanese.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I don't speak Africanese.
Can you at least try reading it? Maybe we can understand from the sounds that it makes.
It says something about a pink, fluffy Afghanistan-onion Q-tip.
Pink Afghanistan Flaphodian Q-tip. That sounds like English, which is garbled up with nonsense.
I'm trying to translate the best I can. I don't speak Africanese.
Okay, let me take a look. Can I find a pink whatever the fuck? Oh, wait, there it is. 9.
You have a Q-tip.
Okay.
Remember.
Okay, the Q-tip's not gonna help. I got the pliers right here. All right. Okay, I rolled a 9. Okay, good. That means I got one off. Okay, we're doing good. It hasn't exploded yet. All right, turn.
What's the timer say? I can't read numbers.
It says. Oh fuck! It's not in English either.
Is it in Africanese as well?
No, it's in Japanese.
I don't speak that either.
Neither do I. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Shit.
Okay, well look. All I know is it hasn't exploded yet. But fuck. Turn the page. What does it say to do next?
Press the start button and then square.
What? Do we have a bomb disabling manual, or is it a game manual?
I don't know. It says PlayStation on the top right corner.
Jonathan, what are you doing with the PlayStation manual?
It was in my pocket. I was scared. I had to do something for my nerves.
Fuck, man. This isn't the time to be playing games. You think this is a game? You think this is a fucking game?
Life is a game.
Fuck, man.
Or a highway.
Okay, if I get played here, it's because of you, okay? Hold on. Let me actually see if there is a start and square button. I think there is. I rolled a 5. It's scratched
so
out.
There's one. There's a start but no square.
Okay. All right. Well, I hit the start button. Maybe the square is. Maybe it's another. Maybe it means something else. Okay. It's gotta. What is?
Maybe twist that square-shaped knob.
Twist the square-shaped knob.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, it worked. Okay, great.
Oh, hey.
Oh man, this dice is in our favor.
That was easy.
Fuck.
That's why they hired us. You know, we're amazing.
Okay. The bomb's still going. Maybe there's like 3 more things left or 2 more things. Flip the page. How many pages we got left?
13.
13. That's a load of bullshit.
Wait. There's a PlayStation manual in here.
What? Damn it.
3.
Okay. What does the next thing say? What do we do?
It says to lift the bomb up over your head and spin in a circle 3 times.
What? Lift the bomb over.
That's my rough translation.
Your rough
from
translation.
Africanese.
What does it actually say?
It says bing bong, click click click, schwap walla.
Bing bong. We're not fucking playing table tennis with the bomb. Okay, look, let me see if the whole spinning around thing shit works. Oh god.
Uh-oh. Oh no!
The timer's going faster now. No, it did not work. In fact, I feel like if we don't get this next one right, we're fucking dead. Flip the page.
Okay, this one says to cut the blue wire, but you have to do it in a handstand.
Okay. First of all, I'm not strong, so I don't know if I can do a handstand, but I'm gonna try. Let me try to do a handstand.
I'll support your legs.
Oh, okay, great, because... Oh, fuck, that hurt.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't do it by myself. Okay, grab my legs.
Okay.
Whoa, fuck, man. Why is your grip so light?
I haven't eaten all day, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, look, man. I got a tool here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to cut this wire. Let me try. Fuck, man, I'm missing. I'm fucking missing. Get your grip together, Jonathan.
I'm trying my best.
This bum is not...
Stop eating cheeseburgers, you're heavy.
Well, I'm sorry that I still have a love for Five Guys. Fuck. All right, let me cut this. We did it. Okay. After fussling around on that with your fucking lightweight, we did it. Okay.
You're fat, I'm weak. It's not my fault.
And I apparently fart. I didn't.
Gross. Are you eating cheese too?
Listen, he's got pretty good cheese. Jeff has a good taste in cheese.
Do you want to be gross like him?
No.
We've talked about this.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love the cheese, but we don't have time for that right now. The bomb's still going. All right, listen, I'm sure we only have like 2 minutes left or something. What does the last page say?
You know what? Fuck the last page. I'm gonna take my Q-tip and stick it in this hole.
Whoa.
And see if it works.
Oh, Jonathan, wait, no! 3. Oh, fuck! Fuck!
Sorry! Tell my dog. Hurt.
Okay, but I have to roll to see if I'll live to tell your dog. No, I make it to the door and I'm gonna die. Game over.
I thought for sure the Q-tip would win.
No, not when it hit 3. It was doing so good at the start, and then I was like, no, now you must die. Thanks.
Damn it.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
So close. We almost disarmed it.
We almost did, and then it disarmed us.
Yeah. Zing!
Or wait, even furthermore.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Alrighty, now that we've gone through all that bullshit, time for the finale. Updates!
Finally.
Yes! So I think you've probably talked a little bit about your updates, but why don't we just recap? What are you working on right now, Jonathan?
I am mainly just working on Days of Our Lives, Resident Episode 13, the finally.
Excuse me, I burped.
No.
Sorry, yeah. There you go.
But that's the big one. Like I said, I've got some stuff completed that I need to upload.
You got some lines to send to me?
And I need. You know what? I'm doing that today.
Oh,
so.
Okay. And then you?
No, I'm not. I have to go to work after this. I'm doing it tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, because that's really the only thing left is your lines. And
really?
Still figuring that out.
Who's the last one?
Ada.
Oh yeah, Ada.
Yeah. So I need to text her or email her or whatever and see what's going on with that. Once I get those two done, I mean, it's pretty much finished. I just need to do a little tweaking here and there, and then it's pretty much done. But that's the big thing I want to get out and done. And then one of the next things that I really need to focus on, especially since I do it every fucking week, is the goddamn podcast. I need to finish converting the older episodes into MP3 files and uploading those to my server that I pay for so that I can get the whole show on podcast services, because I don't think there's a big demand for podcasts on like a video platform like YouTube.
No, definitely.
So I would like to get that to a broader audience on, all the whatever, iTunes and Spotify and all the things, so that we can kind of get a bigger audience for the podcast, and hopefully that will translate into viewers into the machinima and stuff. So I really want to focus on getting that done too. So I'm going to be doing that probably over the weekend. So yeah, just those two things are my main focus for now for this week.
Perfect.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, as y'all already know, we did get My Restless Nightmares, Dirty Little Sinners, finally up.
Oh boy.
After 2 years, but apparently I started the script back in
Was it 2 years?
Well, I know I finished the script 2018, but I checked to see when I started, and it was apparently in 2016. Yeah.
What?
Apparently it made the file that far in time, but I know I didn't really start writing until 2018.
Machinima's hard, everybody.
Yeah. So also, just so you guys know, that Buff Sunderland thing, that I made the man first. Buff Sunderland came after, but he definitely added on. That's why I said added on. I wonder if he even knows I exist. But anyways.
Tweet him, be like, yo, look.
Thank you.
We both have variations of the man.
Of the man.
The man.
And so that's up. I made the bloopers, the full 22 minutes. It is ready for patrons to view once they, donate to the $5 tier. Bloop bloop da whoops. I made the teaser video, 1 minute of bloopers containing each of everybody. And so yeah, the ball's rolling on that. I'm thinking for next spood to get tackling on, I think I'm trying to cycle through each spood and get one sequel out for each. So one Resident Evil, one Silent Hill, one Devil May Cry, and then one of the other bucket list stuff. So I'm thinking of starting Devil May Cry 1, get that ball rolling, especially after I made that announcement at the beginning. Or not the announcement, but like the short video that ended up being like a teaser kind of thing.
I thought that was for Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5. It was supposed to be just a short skit, not trying to advertise anything. But then I made it about Virgil running away because he didn't want to lose his unique voice. And then at the end, because of that, I was like, all right, well, Devil May Cry, before people get the wrong idea thinking Devil May Cry 5 is on the way, it'll come out after Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 4. And that's right, we're doing 2. So I said that, and I made it clear, and I did check with everybody on YouTube. I did a poll, and people knew that I meant that 1, 2, and 4 need to come out first. So, thankfully,
How is it that you skipped over Resident Evil 5, but you're doing Devil May Cry 2? The fuck is the matter with you?
Okay, look, I originally was thinking maybe with that one, and then I realized, you know what? I can turn something into that. It's so bad that I will make something out of it. That's my thought process right now. I've evolved as a spooter. I will make this entertaining, okay?
Honestly, the worse the game is, the better material you have. You're just looking at it the wrong way.
Yes, exactly. My thing is I just don't like Resident Evil 5.
Wow. It's not even about that. It's about the, like, what's the content? Like, what do you have to work? Not whether you like it or not.
Well,
though that does help.
Yeah, I don't want to get back to Resident Evil 5. Unless we,
Well, it's fine given where I'm going,
Yeah.
Maybe it worked out, so.
We'll see. If I reach my goal on Patreon, maybe someone could request me to do Resident Evil 5, and maybe I won't say no then. But first, y'all have to get me there. Oh! Support!
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we're working on Devil May Cry 1. I'm gonna try scripting sometime, maybe this week or next week or something like that. I don't know. We're taking it easy after going a whole week editing My Restless Nightmares, since that did take, like, most of my week was spent with that. I even made sacrifices. Like, for Valentine's Day, I was supposed to do a lot more with Zach, and I said, let's just cut it to those 2 things so I can keep editing. So, maybe just a little break. But other than that, we'll start writing the script and get that shit going. I have footage that I recorded for that, like, years ago, which was mainly for the sake of that one part in Devil May Cry 3 where Dante sees DMC1 Dante, and they're just, like, having that future conversation or whatever. But I recorded footage at the same time, and I played the game how I would probably do it in the spood, so hopefully I did things that I agree with and can write with and work with, otherwise I'm fucked. And it was on the PlayStation 3 version, so it was the good HD remake, not remake, HD remaster, whatever the fuck. It's not the shitty PlayStation 4 one, where Mundus's beam just looks like a really shitty particle lighting up. It actually has the lighting effects. My God, I don't know if you ever seen the video.
Didn't they censor that too? Like, they removed some dialogue?
No, they didn't remove any dialogue. They just badly fucking, like, took some shit. Like, some effects are missing. Like, the beam he shoots isn't even visible. You can't see it. It's gone. It's missing. That's how bad it is.
You're talking about the DMC remaster, right?
I'm talking about like Devil May Cry 1, like the game, like the DMC, not shit boot.
Shit boot. They put their HD version or whatever on PS4? When the fuck did that happen?
When they released the PC version. The PC version and the PlayStation 4.
Was it like a digital only?
Yeah. No, I think you can actually get it physically for PlayStation 4 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening.
I saw it at GameStop.
Weird. Okay.
So yeah.
Where the fuck have I been?
It's out there physically too, so if you want to pick it up, Shaun, it's there. But just remember, it's probably the worst. Because Devil May Cry, they had like some really bad, I didn't really take the time to, it's not like Silent Hill Collection bad.
Fuck.
But it's got some like, it's not unplayable. It's just, you notice that some bad moves were just made.
How do you take an old game, remaster it
Twice.
on 360, and then remaster that on the next generation and make it worse? How?
I have no idea, but they did it. So the only bonus thing is there's now full subtitles for the game. Like how they just reserved that for the monsters? Now it's just for everybody. That's it. So I'm doing it off the PlayStation 3 version because, one, that's the HD version, and closest I'll get to a good HD version, and the one that's closest to home, and two, I have the footage. So all that really matters is writing the lines and getting my voice actors to do the job, because it's not going to be a solo spoot this time.
Nice.
So, yep, that's all good and going, and I think that's pretty much it. Ta-da! Thank you guys for joining this episode of Spoodcast. If you like, you're always welcome to, but not obligated to, like, comment, and subscribe. Support the Ward's Patreon.
No, you're obligated to do it or feel bad.
Support the Ward's Patreon, patreon.com/theward, and also support my Patreon, patreon.com/DarkAbridgerEX. I think that's what they call me these days. They might call me Anderson JT.
Yeah, you need to rebrand. Go back.
Give us all that love and support so we can continue to make more content and not slave away at the jobs that take us away from doing exactly that. Have yourselves a good day, good night, whatever fucking time it is.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Look both ways before you cross the street, and remember, if you put a fucking Q-tip to disable a bomb, you're fucked.
Insert explosion.